A series that had potential to be a long affair could come to a quick close tonight on Shaw. The Moose Jaw Warriors are pounding on the door of the Eastern Conference Final. They've been too much to handle for the Medicine Hat Tigers through 3 games and look to deliver the final blow in enemy territory. It's a large hole the Tigers have to dig themselves out of. It's do or die time for the Black and Orange. Which will it be tonight? Game 4 from the arena. Warriors and Tigers, next on Shaw. Well, the Moose Jaw Warriors' defense has certainly become a story on the offensive side in this series, and Kendall McFall has really been the ringleader there with 5 points in his last 2 games, with a goal in Game 3 in the victory for Moose Jaw. Busiest night of the series was last night for Luke Siemens. He dealt with 26 shots, made some brilliant saves early in a 24-save performance. And on the other side, another busy night for Tyler Bunds. 48 saves out of 52 that he faced in Game 3. You know he'll likely be busy once again for Game 4 as the Tigers face elimination. As we welcome you inside the Medicine Hat Arena and Game 4 of this Husky Eastern Conference semifinal series. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the WHL on Shaw. I'm Andy Neal. Well, hard to believe that the Warriors lost their first game of the playoffs. They've reeled off 7 straight wins since, and now hold a commanding 3-0 series lead in their series with the Medicine Hat Tigers, and are poised to get to the Eastern Conference Championship for the first time since 2006. And again, the big story last night was the huge gap in shots between the two teams. 52-26 for Moose Jaw in Game 3. They've had 135 so far in the 3 games in the series to just 58 for the Tigers. And the Tigers have really been shut down offensively. 4 goals in the series. Curtis Volk, who opened the scoring last night, he and Hunter Shinkarik are the only Tigers who have multi-points in this series so far. 11 Warriors have pulled that off with more than a point in the 3 games in this series. But you know that the Tigers, especially on home ice, aren't going to roll over here in Game 4, but they certainly need a better push here this evening. But one thing that they can look back on, back in 1996, the last time and the only time in the WHL playoffs history that a team came back from an 0-3 hole. That was Spokane against Portland. The road needs to begin tonight for the Tigers if they want to join that company. Well, let's go to Dan Russell and Bill Williams, who have the call once again of Game 4 here at the arena. Guys?
Thank you very much, Andy. Well, that's a stat we've been trotting out a lot lately with all the different sweeps that have been going on in the WHL. Well, as expected last night, Bill, the Tigers did have the big start in the first period, but then Moose Jaw, they just never waver from their game plan, and eventually it paid off.
Yeah, it was an absolute madhouse in here at the beginning of the game last night, and Dan, I am so impressed with how completely prepared Mike Stuthers had his team for last night's game. Even though Curtis Volk gave the Tigers a 1-0 lead, period 2, they came, they put their work boots on, and they got control of this hockey game.
And so this is how Game 3 unfolded last night, if you weren't with us.
What a series 16-year-old number 10 Braden Point is having for the Warriors. That tied it at 1. Kendall McFall, what a wonderful wrap play that McElrath took behind the net to get it to him. And that made it 2-1. There, Eric Arnold in period 3 when they blew it open. That makes it 3-1. James Henry on a misplay makes it 4-1. And then late in that period, Matthew Conan got the Tigers within 2, but it was way too little, too late. It was a 4-2. Very dominating win by the Warriors.
And what was so disappointing, I guess, for a Medicine Hat standpoint, they had Emerson Needham finally back in the lineup, but he really wasn't a big factor. In fact, he was a -3 on the night.
Yeah, there was just no room for him to skate out there. This is what's impressive about the way they played him. A guy like Emerson Needham, he was ready to play. That's him working out before the game. But they were above him so well last night. He had nowhere to go in that spot. He couldn't get out of traffic. He was stick checked, double teamed there. Great job by the Warriors. Puck taken away from him. He wants to skate that. He wants open ice. He gets it tight, and then he runs into the goaltender. And again, you watch Siemens make a terrific save. Too tight. He can't do what he wants to do in that spot. Needham certainly very frustrating. But they kept him from using that speed.
You know, the Warriors got a bit of a scare when Volk scored the game's first goal. He bowled over Siemens, and he was down for quite a while, but then he got up, and he really played well.
I thought so, and I know you've become a fan of this kid during the this series that we've seen him. And this is the 1-0 goal you're talking about. He is run over right there by Curtis Volk. That made it 1-0, but, you know, he got it 10-2, and got himself put together and then started making some terrific saves. Boy, did he challenge the shooter right there. Look how far out he is. Look how big he is. Scrambles around the net. The key for a rookie goaltender, or a goaltender that hasn't got a lot of experience, I'm not going to say he's a rookie, Dad, but he never flustered by plays in tight. He kept his composure all the time, and I think the Warriors really fed off that confidence.
Over 50 shots for a visitor in Medicine Hat. Andy, it's been almost a decade since somebody has done that until last night. Back to you.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable stat. 5 times this year, the Tigers had a win streak of at least 4 games. They need that to start here this evening. 3 series could come to a close tonight, including this one. The Warriors on the brink of round 3. The next 60 minutes, at least, will give us the answer on that. WHL on Shaw returns after the break.
The true know strong and free from far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for
the singing voice of Victor Bustamante here in Medicine Hat as we get ready for game number 4. On his Twitter account, Tyler Bunn says, "We're doing it tonight for the 20-year-olds. Let's give them more games to play." One of them is standing by with Peter Labardius.
James Bettauer is with me. I know for a fact you've had a great year. You don't want your season to end here tonight.
Absolutely not. We're going to give it everything we got tonight, and I think we can definitely force a game 5.
You guys have spent a lot of time in your own end with your face pressed up against the glass. How do you do a better job of transitioning more play to the other end of the building?
We just need to get pucks out. If we have to use the glass, we will, and then we got to play in there and hem them in more.
Thanks for this. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys?
Thanks, Peter. Here's your starting goalies for Jack Lynx. Luke Siemens had 35 wins in the regular season, 7 more in the playoffs. He's 42-15 overall, his win-loss record, regular season and postseason. Up the ice, it's Tyler Bunns, 14-16 career in the playoffs. This is his 32nd career playoff game. Veteran officials working game 4 tonight. Andy Thiessen working alongside Derek Zalaski. Those are the 2 with the orange armbands. And your linesman on the screen, Mike Roberts, Greg Sauer, and we're getting ready to go. You know, in the regular season, Medicine Hat had 42 wins. Moose Jaw just had 3 more, 45. The problem is they've got 3 more in this series as we start game 4. Moose Jaw again in the dark uniforms. And McFall gets the puck out and down the ice. It should be an icing, so we're just 14 seconds in and we get our first whistle.
You know, Coach Clouston has to convey to his team that the playoffs, you find out how hard you have to work to maximize your talent. The first 3 games played in this series, Coach Clouston's team has two even strength goals. One of them last night late in the game when it really didn't matter.
This is his 25th game coaching in the playoffs. A perfect, well, I should say an even 12-12 record all time for Sean Clouston as head coach. There's McElrath trying to come out of his own zone. Passes behind McFall. Kendall McFall with the puck. He's the leading point getter in this series with 5 points, a goal and 4 assists. Long shot turned aside by Bunns. Might have been going off the target. Vesanius has it now. His pass picked off from back of the net. Brado will try this near side. Gerbevac bumped off the puck, but not till the Tigers moved it. And looked like Lear was going to get out to the neutral zone. Could not, sent right back in again. Medicine Hat making a line change. They bring the puck up, again partially broken up. Now they bring it in over the line. A shot, Siemens makes the save. That's an easy one off Edom, and he holds on to stop the play.
You know, Dallas Earhart, he gets caught whether he wants to pinch on this play or not, decides that he gets outside the blue line, and his smart play is to dump it right back in. You see the result of that collision, trying to get in the face of some of these big defensemen, maybe to keep him from getting that puck in deep. We'll have to see how Earhart faces or weathers this little injury. It might keep him out for a shift or two.
Vault goes in to take the face off. He has 2 goals in this series for Medicine Hat. In fact, the Tigers have only scored 4, so he's got half of them. Outscored 12-4 so far in the series. Outshot 135-58. Siemens wraps it around the boards. First 2 shots on the shot clock is our Medicine Hat shots. That one by Edom goes wide of the net. Last night they had the first 6 of 7 that were posted on the board. Collision there, and here comes Braden Point in over the line. Drop pass to Henry, back to Point, back to Henry! Scores! Henry held on to it, waited for Buns to go down, and Moose Jaw, just a minute 43 in, have themselves a 1-0 lead.
Sometimes you just want to get that puck out of your zone any way you can, and there's traffic. You know the Tigers do want to get that puck out. But here's the interesting thing, folks, from that scrum, number 10 is Braden Point. What's this kid all about? He starts to play. This is a kid that just turned 16, and he just about finishes the play. Gets it back to Henry. Henry's a traitor. Nice job of waiting, making the deke. Here it is again. Take a look. Forehand, backhand, Buns frozen, and how about McElrath right in the face of the goaltender?
Henry scored last night. He's got 4 on the playoffs. There's a shot on Siemens, turned aside. The rebound in front popped wide. Now a partial turnover, but Moose Jaw gets the puck back again and flips it out to center. Don't know if there was a second assist on that or not, but certainly that first assist was real pretty from Point, who scored a big goal last night, sets up the all-important first one here. Miller cycling, trying to get the puck back again. Could back the other way for Medicine Hat. This is Sheen. Sheen shoots it in. Battle for it there. That, by the way, was the first shot on goal that Buns had to face. And when you think about this series, how many shots it's taken Moose Jaw to penetrate Buns and get one by him.
They do it early tonight, huh?
Very rare.
Yeah, exactly.
Off the boards and out. Although Henry, with that veteran poise that he showed, just holding on to it, was terrific. And here's an opportunity for the Tigers, but they don't get a shot away, and the fans yelled. They thought maybe a penalty should have been drawn on Boston Lear. Bodies falling on the far side. Conan can't get it to his man, so it's dumped out and down the ice. No icing here. Race for the puck. Betar back to get it. Hirsch on the forecheck. Almost a turnover. But the Tigers get it, at least for the moment. Eberle's lost his stick in the neutral zone. He scrambles to get it back as Conan collects it. Matthew Conan scored last night for Medicine Hat. When it was 4-1, he made it 4-2 late in the third. Edmonton, his pass up to Arnold and over the line. Arnold shot on Buns and he squeezes it, holds on, stopping the play.
This is James Henry opening the scoring for the Moose Jaw Warriors. Good speed coming out of their own zone, and as you said, Dan, terrific patience to get that puck there. Wait, look at McElrath do a job in front of the net, actually boxing his man out. We talk about shots on goal, Dan, that's been the story of this series so far. The last time the Tigers gave up 50-plus shots at home, you got to go back to 0-3, a 3-2 win in double overtime. You know, they haven't given Buns a chance to steal a game, making that many, facing that much rubber. You can't steal a game with 50 shots on net.
From the faceoff, that shot goes wide. Another shot doesn't reach the net. That does beg the question. Would have to really go into the old WHL archives. If it took double overtime and it was a decade ago for the last team to get 50 shots, who's the last club prior to Moose Jaw last night to get 50 shots in regulation against the Tigers in this building? That's a long time ago, I'm going to guess. Here comes Henry, and here comes Arnold. Arnold back towards Henry. He has to reach back to collect the puck, and he does. Again, Arnold. Here's McFall. His shot, that hit a leg, hit Edom. Now Basanius trying to move it around the wall, could not. Puck loose at the side of the net. Warriors are on it. Here's McFall. Now it's McElrath. Shot goes over to the far side. Howden trying to collect it. Howden gets it back. And it's shot out of play, and we'll get a face-off down there.
You know, the Medicine Hat Tigers, Dan, have 2 players with 3 or more goals in the playoffs. The Moose Jaw Warriors have 8 guys with 3 or more. And you know what that does to the confidence of a hockey club. When you're scoring goals, you got a confidence level that's pretty high. The story for me so far in this series is the fact that the shutdown, big, containment type defense for the Warriors have become so offensive. Game 1, Game 2, and Game 3, the number 1 stars of the game were Joel Edmondson, Kendall McFall, and Dylan McElrath. It's a wonderful story. The offense that those guys are providing are weaving in this playoff series.
McFall tried to break something up. Couldn't hear Shinkarek shot. Oh, he just missed. Siemens was going down. That shot just missed the far corner. Bettauer now has it. Bettauer centering pass. Shot saved by Siemens off Edom as he comes across to make another save off Emerson Edom. Off the glass it goes. Here's a race for the puck. Can Howden get it before it gets over the icing line? No, he cannot.
Yeah, Emerson Edom, you know, he's got to be a factor. There's no question he must be. Talked about it earlier. This is a guy that's been in on 107 of Medicine Hat's 255 goals in the season. And this time he gets that puck again in a little bit of a bad angle. That is the key to defending Emerson Edom. He's going to be around the puck down, but you don't want him with good looks.
And we saw in that first round, he was in on 1.11 straight goals in their victory in the opening round, but he'd take a little bit of that right now just to get his team back in the game.
Well, Dan, he's been held off the score sheet 8 times, never back-to-back games. So if Emerson Edom is held off the score sheet tonight, it'll be first time all year that he hasn't scored in 2 straight games. They had a point in 2 straight games.
Out of town, the Edmonton Oil Kings are having their way with Brandon again. It's 5-0 in the second period, on their way to another 4-game sweep and a trip to the conference final, barring something bizarre in Brandon tonight. Here's Gerbevec. High shot, gobbled up, and held on to by Siemens. A little push and a shove afterwards, but nothing comes of that.
Nice breakout. Good job of the Medicine Hat Tigers coming out of their own zone. Dan, but there was nowhere for Gerbevec to go with that puck. His wingers were covered. Great coming back. And you know that good defense that we talk about for this Moose Jaw Warrior team, it starts with their back-checking forwards in the neutral ice area. That whole play had everybody covered coming back.
We didn't pick up the second assist at the time of the goal, but it's Howden getting the second assist, so he's got another point in this series. That gives him 5 points as well, so he and McFall leading the way for Moose Jaw. Howden has just been quietly really good at times picking up those assists, and then he makes a lot of noise with some terrific plays in this series.
You know, last night in the game, Luke Siemens for the Moose Jaw Warriors elevated his save percentage in the playoffs overall to one thing, but .931 in this series so far. Hasn't been that busy. 58 shots to have 54 saves. Anybody will take .931.
And getting better, it seems, with every game.
The more shots he's faced, the stronger he's played. I agree with you completely.
And in situations where the Tigers need a big one, he has said no almost every time. And that's a good sign for Moose Jaw as you look ahead. Here's Gerbevec. Shot up high. Siemens takes it off the shoulder. Early shots are 5-2 Medicine Hat, but we saw this last night as well. Miller, Johnson now feathers it back. What we aren't seeing tonight that we did see last night was that Tiger swarm in the first period. That's not there right now. Here's Johnson in over the line. Drop pass, shot, save Buns. Up high on the rebound as his stick went way up high in the air. Comes down finally for Moose Jaw to work the cycle. That's Beach with it, spinning off a check. Doesn't play it back to McFall. Plays it over here, and a quick pad save made off Kirsch. Kirsch trying to jump on the puck once more. And now it finally rolls to Shinkarek. And out it goes to center. Here's Emerson Edom now. In on McFall. Cuts to the middle, and he fell down or was taken down. And it's going to be a penalty called on McFall for tripping. And Medicine Hat gets a power play. There's a little bit more after the whistle. And we'll see if there'll be more penalties, but I don't think so. It'll just be McFall going to the box, 2 minutes for trip.
Well, the more of these rushes that Emerson Edom gets, the more success his Tigers are going to have. But you know, as McFall kind of loses his balance, boy, I'll tell you what, I'm not so sure he got a lot of trip on him. Do you? He hasn't tripped him there yet?
I saw.
In fact, I don't think he touched him, to be honest with you.
I didn't see one at the time, and then I called it. He fell, and then I saw the arm go in the air, and I didn't think he touched him at all.
Well, we got 5 yeses from the guys in the truck, so 2 no's up here. We didn't see it. Well, let's have a look. Does he trip him?
Well, maybe they're there.
Gets him in the back of the leg.
Yeah, good call.
Dave Roberts, you should be up here, me down there.
All right, so power play time for Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat 1 for 5 in the series. And the one came on a 6-on-4 late in game 1. So virtually nothing in terms of a pure power play goal. Carrick couldn't get it. Puck cleared, but not out the first time, then down the ice. Medicine Hat power play in the playoffs. 6 goals on 25 attempts. And the Warriors' penalty kill is allowed just 3 on 21 attempts. Conan gloves it down in the neutral zone. Going for a skate here to try to avoid a check. Nice pass over to Bettauer and over the line now. Carrick's loose over here, can't get him the puck. Shot goes wide. Off the back of the net, they dig it free. Emerson Edom back to Bettauer. Edom again. Shot. Blocked nicely by Brown and then shot down the ice. Minute to go in the power play. This is Basanius. Up to Brado, off his stick, but Basanius moves in now. Still Basanius, shot, save, and the rebound poked wide. Brado trying to get it. There's going to be another penalty. Back official calling it. Lear taken down, 2-man power play for 37 seconds.
Well, there's absolutely no question of the trip in this case here. Boston Lear has tripped. Quentin Howden's the guy that's going to take that penalty. And if ever you get back in this hockey game, you've got to do it early. This isn't a long series at this point, folks. This is all over tonight if the team in white doesn't win this hockey game. They've got a 2-man advantage, as you said, Dan, 37 seconds or less. They trail 1-0. Big part, I think, of this game early.
So Falk goes in to take the 5-on-3 face-off, and comes back to Siemens, and Siemens gets it down the ice. He doesn't handle it quite as well as his counterpart at the other end, but it still got the job done. So that kills off a few seconds. Still 25 left on the 2-man. Edom trying to gain this half wall. Does. Here's Volk now. Volk over on the other side. Carrick now to Bettauer. Bettauer shoots, scores! It's a 1-1 tie. It's a power play goal at 9:09, and the Tigers are at even terms and still on the power play.
Well, the guy that got the most goals from the point in the Western Hockey League is the guy that's going to get the puck right there. And you know, you couldn't have picked a better spot to put that puck. On that first look, you could see there wasn't a whole lot of traffic in front of the net, and it had to go upstairs. That's exactly where Bettauer put it. Still, 1:37 left in this power play for the Tigers.
The playoffs, scored by number 15, James Bettauer. Assist number 6, Matthew Conan. And number 18, Curtis Falk. James Bettauer from Matthew Conan and Curtis Falk at 9:09.
Dan Bettauer with the goal, the last Medicine Hat defenseman to get 20 goals, not named Chris Russell, who got 32 goals at 26, was a guy named Cam Barker back in 03-04. I think for my part, this kid Bettauer, a 20-year-old, I call him a kid, he has to be effective and be a real part of this power play tonight in this building.
They're all kids to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the 20-year-olds. Bettauer tying it up. Here's Conan now. Conan now to Edom. Puck bouncing. Carrick into that corner. Gets it back. Volk's right in front. Carrick can't get him at the first time. Back to the blue line now. Here's Conan. Conan's shot. That sailed over top the net. Not sure if Siemens saw it or not. Conan once more. Carrick off the half wall. Tried to feather it through. Arnold gets it, and he sends it down the ice.
Little tentativeness, if you will. That power play doesn't look like it's really that freely moving that puck. See if they do a little better in the next 26 seconds.
Well, they scored 2 power play goals in the series, Bill. One was, as I mentioned earlier, a 6-on-4 with the goalie out. Now one with a 5-on-3. Can they do one with 10 seconds to go here? Emerson Edom over top the net. Edom goes and collects his own rebound. Only for a moment, is still hopping around as penalty comes to an end. Quick shot over top the net. Puck going high, Siemens was going low. Warriors back at full strength. Howden out of the penalty box. Shots 8-4 in the early going for the Tigers. McElrath. He plays it over to Earhart. McElrath again up to Howden. Quentin Howden. Gains the line, still Howden, drops it back. Here's Henry. His shot hit a leg and hit LaBelle. And now it's Hurley. Tigers knock it out. Warriors send it right back in again. Kyle Becker in the lineup. That's him, number 12. A quick pass. He goes to the bench afterwards. Lead pass up for Howden. He just couldn't collect it cleanly. Parkinen checked by Howden. Howden just couldn't come up with the puck. And it's LaBelle once more. Check that. Parkinen in over the line. Visania's shot was off the glove of Siemens. Howden. Pass off the lively boards. Howden still can't get off the ice. He's been out there a while. Long shot by Gerbeback. Wide of the net. Same with the rebound. Here's Cox now. His first shift. He puts the puck down low. Gerbeback. Behind the net, Lear. Edmonton trying to get it. Cox pass. Gerbeback. Shot off the side of the net. Quick shot by Gerbeback. They need something from him, you'd think. He's got 2 assists in the whole playoffs. And he's one of their 20-year-olds as this puck goes down the ice for an icing. With 7:30 to go, we're going to step aside. Each team has a goal in this first period. It's game number 4, and you're watching WHL playoff coverage on Shaw.
Tigers head coach Sean Clouston with us. Coach, not the first 140 you wanted, but pretty good response since, wouldn't you say?
It's the best we've played all series. So, I mean, it's a great start. We talked about playing one shift at a time, just keeping it really, really simple, not worrying about yesterday or tomorrow, just the shift in front of you. And even after the goal, I thought the response was great and the energy has been good, and we just have to keep it up.
Your speed game to me has maybe been better in the first 12 and a half of this game than in the first 3. Is that fair?
A major difference. I think the guys have made a concentrated effort of just focusing on what we do. I mean, Moose Jaw's done a great job of taking the game to us. We've got to counter that, and I think we've done a real good job with our speed and keeping things simple and getting pucks deep.
Thanks for this as always.
All right, thank you.
And this is exactly the way he wants to take the game to them. This is Emerson Edom. If he can't go wide, then he wants to penetrate that center lane. That's just too easy a shot to see. He's got to get some traffic in front of the net.
Clouston took over from the legendary Willie Desjardins a couple of years back after serving 6 years as an assistant. Howden coming out of the Moose Jaw zone and gaining speed as he hits the blue line. Howden's shot turned aside by Buns. Warriors jumping on the rebound. They haven't had much zone time compared to the other periods that we've seen. Henry centers it, comes back towards the point. Furietti, his shot easily blocked. Falk standing in front of that. And they continue to battle along this near side. Conan comes in to collect it. He almost gave away the puck as he fanned on his pass. And now back the other way, the Tigers will start out. Bettauer bouncing it inside the blue line. Siemens just dumps it to the corner, gave it away, but then it's given right back as Braves intercepts. Fans thought there should have been a penalty behind the play. I didn't see it. I just hear the reaction as the puck was well up the ice. Furietti now. Braves going in. Boston Lear collects it. Gerbeback trying to get it over here, cannot. Sent down the ice, so it's waved off the icing. And this is Lewington playing it around the boards or the glass, and it's intercepted. Johnson comes in. Johnson holds, shot. Funds makes the save and holds on.
I think Gerbevac in the first period has had a couple shifts, Dan, where he's been effective. The key for the captain of the Medicine Hat Tigers, I don't think is as much the scoring. It's a great bonus if he does. He got those 10 playoff goals last year, but here's the key for him. He's got to play a heavy game. He's got to play a physical game. He's got to be disruptive out there. He's got to be an impact player, even if he's not scoring.
Started his career with Kamloops, hopes his career in the WHL does not end tonight. Tigers trying to move it out, but Miller cut that off. Beach is hit. Now they'll try the other side. Hurley. The pinch by Earhart worked for a moment, but now 5 Medicine Hat Tigers through the neutral zone. They shoot it in. It's a bouncer on Siemens, and he may hold on to it, and does.
Dan, there's some very good teams, some very good defensemen at all levels of hockey that when the forecheck is coming at them in their own zone, and this Warrior team is so good on the forecheck, they actually are able to use the glass as a mirror behind them to see where the forecheck is coming from. And you can sometimes make a play around to the safe side, to the weak side doing that. But you know, they're right on top, absolutely on top. You saw that last sequence down there. The Warriors are the Tigers' defense, and that's what we're talking about. You can see the pretty good reflection back there. And, you know, they just been on them too quick to use that opportunity.
Remember how good Nugent Hopkins was at that? Using that reflection to see what was happening. And
I think the guy that pioneered it best and earliest was Wayne Gretzky. Was phenomenal at it.
Yeah, a bouncer and a off-speed pitch, and there's a chance at the side of the net there. Siemens stopped the first one. Trying to get the rebound there is Brado. Brado tied up by Henry a little bit. The Moose Jaw Warriors have their hands full right now with this Medicine Hat team. If they thought it was going to be an easy night, the Tigers so far have said no. Howden shot goes wide. Off the backboards. Braden Point trying to get it. Here's Edmondson. Long shot over top the net. He got quite a bit on that, but it went high. Under 5 minutes to go in this opening period. Gerbevac sends it in, heads to the bench on a line change. Fans respond as one of the linesmen wiped out. Shinkarik steals a puck. Here he comes. Save, rebound, poke just wide by Edom. Another good chance there to make it 2-1. Edom throws it in front, intercepted, and the Warriors are going to start back. And gaining speed is Howden. Howden going in. Howden shot it wide. Oh, that's a pretty play too. With some high octane on the ice now with Edom and Howard. Or Edom and Quentin Howden. Now we got a arm in the air and another Moose Jaw penalty coming up here for roughing. And the Tigers going back to the power play.
Again, coming into the offensive zone, and this is what the Tigers have to do more of. This is Shinkarik. He gets his eye up. He's handling that puck a lot of time to try to pick a spot. Nowhere there at all to get that puck to. The goaltender did such a great job of taking everything away. Edom couldn't get the rebound. You see Braze on the penalty there.
So third power play. All 3 penalties have gone to Moose Jaw. 2 minutes for roughing. Braze, the penalized players. You can see him in the penalty box. Braze, one of the 20-year-olds on the Moose Jaw team. Conan can't keep it in at the blue line. So they go back. Conan and Betar, the point men. Edom's up front with Volk and Shinkarik. McFall first to it, on his backhand, on his forehand, and down the ice it goes.
He made that look easy. Absolutely made that whole play look easy. Did Joel McFall. Or Kendall McFall, sorry.
In over the line is Edom. Edom to Shinkarik. Pass in front. Siemens makes a save, a rebound. Still there. Way up high in the air. Another penalty coming up. Going to be another 2-man advantage. Pressure on. Goalie out already. Betar. Betar holds. Betar shot over top the net. Not a play. And that's a 2-man advantage for another minute 5.
You know, if you go to the net, if you have players crashing the net, any coach will tell you, the more play you've got in that offensive zone, the more speed you have, the more penalties you're going to draw. There's a pretty good job of back checking. They really don't get to that puck The delayed penalty is in effect. And there's Shinkarik with that pass we just talked about, and that's so important again now with a two-man advantage. Hey, it's again a lively building. Let's see how the Warriors respond now to another two-man advantage.
It was a cautious building when we started, but now they've got into it a little bit, responding to what the Tigers have been doing. Siemens really having trouble handling the puck. That's about the third or fourth time he's almost given it away. Basanius. Brado to Basanius. Basanius in front for Lear. Scores! It's another 5-on-3 goal, and it's Boston Lear giving the Tigers a 2-1 lead.
He's moving up to the ladies' tees on this one. This is Basanius. Look at him. He fakes, he waits, takes the puck off his skates. He's got so much time to make this play. Look at it. Handles it off his skate. One fake, one shot, one look, one blast. That's Gerbovac in front of the net. It's what we're talking about. Gerbovac has to be that kind of a presence. Good shot. 2-1 Tigers. Still on the power play.
That's Boston Lear's first goal.
Dylan Basanius. And number 27, Dylan Brado.
Brado the second assist, Basanius the first assist, first ever playoff goal for Boston Lear. They're still on the power play, and here's Conan dishing it off. Puck goes up high, it's still bouncing around. Comes back to Conan, over to Shinkarik. Shinkarik moving in, dumps it down low. Back to the blue line, Conan. Edom, still Edom. Passes it off to the side, another one in front, score! Volk makes it 3-1. A power play goal, all three of them on the power play.
Boy, this is a seeing eye pass, folks. We talk about seeing eye shots. This is just terrific puck movement on the power play. It's got to come in the far right corner there. That's Edom. And you get that extra guy sneaking in from the point. That's a good job. And watch the pass that Edom makes right here. You have a good look at it. Right through the legs, under the legs, through underneath the stick, right between the legs. Beautiful pass.
Scored by number 15.
Bethauer moving in from the point.
Oh, I thought it was Volk. Sorry, it's Bethauer who scores the goal.
Number 9, Hunter Shinkarik. And number 26, Emerson Edom.
Heavy hit on the far side. So it's Bethauer scoring his second of the period. And another mix-up in front of the Moose Jaw bench. Bethauer at 9:09, Lear at 16:58, Bethauer at 17:43. All of them power play goals.
It's really interesting because Mike Stuthers has his team so focused, so disciplined on the season that in the playoffs they have cut their penalty time in half. They've taken about 50% less penalty minutes. They've avoided all kinds of controversy. Maybe the biggest controversy is the fact that he and Coach Pat Conacher never shook hands at the end of the series in Regina. It's been nothing but discipline for this Moose Jaw hockey team. Tonight, they've given up 3 power play goals, and they trailed 3-1 in the first period.
That one almost was another power play that nearly shot the puck out of play. It just stayed in. Wow. With every goal, this crowd's getting louder. Backhanded, back into Buns. Just hasn't been near as busy as we've come accustomed to seeing. This is only the second period of the entire series out of 10 that Medicine Hat has had double-digit shot totals. They're looking for more. They've got 14 shots already. That's broken up. And the Warriors, who scored the early goal tonight, maybe thought it was going to be a little easier, has watched Medicine Hat pick up their game more and more since that 1-0 goal. Edom overskates the puck. Beach and over the line. Beach from back of the net. Still Beach with it, but it rolls off his stick and Shikarik takes it. Here's Edom. Edom just misses the check of Beach. Passes in front. Fans are yelling for another penalty. They thought Beach should have been drawing a penalty on that hit. 10 seconds to go in the period. The fans will be able to have a big round of applause here in just a few more seconds as it's dumped in deep, and that's going to do it for the opening period.
That's got to be a completely different feeling in that Medicine Hat Tiger dressing room after 20 minutes in this series. Sure, Dan, they were all power play goals, but they capitalized when they had to. I said at the time that the 1-1 goal for Bethauer at that point was going to be huge. It was. It tied the game. It propelled them to more power play time, and you see the result after 20 minutes of this first game in Medicine Hat here tonight.
In the first 3 games, Medicine Hat scored a grand total of 4 goals. In that period, they nearly matched that, leading 3-1 after 1.
Welcome back to the Medicine Hat Arena, where Matt Conan and the rest of the Tigers have a 3-1 lead in Game 4 of this Husky Eastern Conference semifinal. We've kind of been wondering a little bit, and give the Warriors all kinds of credit through 3 games, where the Tigers' noted speed game has been. It's back. Where did it come from?
You know, that's been our game all year, and we didn't find it the first 3 games, and tonight we're just using it, getting pucks behind their big demon, and we're using our speed, and it's helping us a lot, and we got the lead 3-1, so I think it's been a big part of our game.
It usually starts from your end of the rink, and you spent a lot of time there. What have you done differently to spend more time in the Moose Jaw zone?
We're getting our clears. Every time the puck comes in our zone, we just got to get it out right away and just not spend any time, not bringing it back or stuff like that. So we've been chipping it out, letting our forwards use our speed and just getting pucks in their zone, and we're playing in their zone all night.
Your speed led to 4 power plays, 3 power play goals. What's gone right with the power play?
I think we're just playing with fun and using our confidence, and we're all good players, and we know that. So I don't know, things are clicking. We're just playing our game, and pucks are going on the net.
Congratulations, by the way, on the first period and your recently signed 3-year deal with Philadelphia.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Matt Conan and the Tigers, Andy Neal, off to a good start here in Game 4.
Are they ever, Peter? 3-1 lead through 20 minutes of play, and I'm pleased to be joined with the Tigers general manager, Brad McEwen, and I'm sure we just talked about it off air. That's a period that you've been waiting for a while.
Well, it certainly has. You know, we were able to kind of get our speed going, our feet were moving. In turn, it creates some penalties down their zone, and we capitalized in the power play. And when you look at our first series against Saskatoon, it's a little bit of what we had success doing, and we've had a struggle here the first 3 games to kind of generate some of those things and give Moose Jaw some credit. But, you know, I liked our first period, obviously, and we're in a good situation right now. And now it's about keeping the gas down and try to keep the speed up and the pace up and keep going to the net and creating and getting pucks to the net, and something that we hadn't done a lot in the first 3 games, either. We threw pucks to the net and created some things that way.
I had to wonder about the Tigers' psyche after the Warriors scored early tonight. Were you worried about that as well?
Yeah, I was. I guess on the other side of it, we scored first a couple of times, and that didn't work out real well. So I liked that our guys kept going, and we've been a resilient group all year. I mean, we've had some stretches where maybe we lose a couple of games and our game isn't right where it is, and we're able to turn that around and play well in stretches again. So, we believe in our group. Our kids work real hard, and as our coach has said before the game, let's just go out and enjoy the experience, play hard, move our feet, do the things that we do, and then whatever happens, happens. But let's make sure we give ourselves a chance.
Was there one thing about what the Warriors were doing that really impressed you on why they got the 3-0 series lead?
Well, I think number one, they played with great discipline. Up to this point, I think the penalties were, 32-10 in minutes. So they did a real good job that way, and I thought structure of their game was real good. They did some things that nullified some of our strengths, and we just weren't able to adjust the way we needed to. But again, tonight I think we've made some adjustments, and we're moving and doing. We've got lots of hockey left, but at least we're going in the right direction.
This team again in the playoffs, again into the second round for the 9th time in 10 seasons. It just seems like you churn out winners year after year. What is the key to the success year after year when you have the dynamite players that move on to other levels?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with this culture that was created, 8, 9, 7 years ago, and the things that we believe in our locker room, and how our coaches coach and create the structure that we need. I mean, I don't think it's any secret. We value skill and we want pace, and our coaches try to coach that, and it's been successful so far, and hopefully we can play a few more nights and keep it going.
Well, that's what Tyler Buns was wanting, was a few more nights in his WHL career. Awfully busy for a second round that he's had, but what about the impact that he has on your team throughout the year?
Well, he's had an unbelievable year for us, and really being the rock. As you can see, the first 3 games, at times we do give up some shots. I think defensively we play pretty sound, but we do give up the outside shot, and then when they do get in the inside, he's made some great saves all year long. I mean, he's one of our MVPs for sure, and just thrives on the workload. There wasn't really a stretch during the year where we felt that he was tiring. He's a big, strong kid. He keeps himself in real good shape. He works on his game. He's had a tremendous year.
Now, with him, obviously a 20-year-old, he'll be gone next season. Who do you look at to step up in goal next year? Who have you pegged for that spot?
Well, we've got Kenny Cameron, who only played 12 games, and he played some hard games. In his situation, going in every month or so is a tough situation. He went in when Tyler had an injury there for a while and played all right, gave us some chances to won some games. So certainly we have to give him every opportunity. And, I've been around the game long enough to know that sometimes those secondary guys, that when they do get their start the next year, they come and do a great job. I think Matt Keatley isn't a perfect example. He paid his dues, didn't play lots, and then when he got the ball, he ran with it and had a tremendous career. And we're hoping Kenny can do the same. Dawson McCauley, who is our 3rd goaltender here and played with the Yorkton Terriers Junior A, we believe in that he's got lots of upside. So, there's a transition plan in this business. They don't always work, but we feel comfortable where we're at, and we believe that they'll do a good job when they're given the ball.
Well, your team's off to a great start tonight. Best of luck tonight and the rest of the series.
Great. Thank you very much.
There's Brad McEwen, the general manager of the Medicine Hat Tigers. His club up 2 on the Moose Jaw Warriors as they face elimination tonight, but looking good through 20 minutes. More after the break from the WHL on Show. Well, good stuff from Dave Roberts back in the truck. Medicine Hat Arena buzzing through 1. It is 3-1 for the Tigers over the Moose Jaw Warriors as they face elimination tonight. Game 5 of this series, if necessary, will be in Moose Jaw on Friday night. Well, 2 other games last night in Game 3 and 2 other second-round series, and we'll start on the road in Brandon, where the Edmonton Oil Kings were looking to take a 3-0 series lead. Wheat Kings again scoring first. This time it's Ryan Pollock on the power play, midway through scoring there for his 3rd of the playoffs, and a 1-0 Brandon lead. And then the Wheat Kings almost make it 2-0. Gary Drzezinski with a chance, but Ashton Sotner makes a great play, and that keeps it 1-0. And then at the other end of the ice, it's Travis Iwanek scoring in back-to-back games for Michael St. Croix to tie the game at 1. And then Curtis Lazar jams it in. That's a second period goal to make it a 2-1 Edmonton lead through 40 minutes of play. And then TJ Foster will get his first of the postseason, jamming it in on the power play. That was 46 seconds into the 3rd period, and then Edmonton would add to it once more with Mitch Moreau scoring his 3rd. That comes just past the 6-minute mark on the power play. And then Stefan Legault gets his first of the postseason, and a 5-1 Edmonton victory for a 3-0 series lead, looking to wrap it up tonight. Meanwhile, Portland Winterhawks and the Kamloops Blazers, big night for Brad Ross. Beautiful setup from Sven Barchi and Ty Ratty on the power play 3 minutes in. So Portland off to a quick start, but then Austin Medeski lays out Brendan Leipzig later in the first. And that seems to spark Kamloops as Brendan Ranford goes in alone and scores past Mac Ruth for second. 1-1 through 1 in Kamloops in Game 3 with the Blazers down 0-2 going into last night. But then the big part of the game, 2 goals 33 seconds apart, and they were shorthanded efforts as well. Taylor Lair gets his 5th there, and then Taylor Peters will spring Brad Ross off a blocked shot in alone on Cam Lanigan. And Ross makes a nifty move and scores for his 2nd of the night to make it 3-1. Again, that was a shorthanded goal for Portland. But Kamloops wasn't through, though, in the 2nd period. Colin Smith will eventually get a 2nd crack at it in front of the Portland net, and he jams it in 4-2 for Portland at that point. But then late in the second period, Brad Ross again, his hat-trick goal, and that comes just 48 seconds later. So 4-2 for Portland, and they would win that game 5-2. Ross had a 4-goal game. He scored into an empty net. Now, Edmonton looks like they're on their way to the Eastern Conference Final. They have a 5-0 lead right now as they are in the third period in Brandon. Martin Gernat has his first 2 of the playoffs as Henrik Samuelsson got things rolling. A 4-goal first period for the Oil Kings, trying to wrap up that second round affair. Meanwhile, Cal Tire Western semifinal series. Game 4 about to get underway between the Kamloops Blazers and the Portland Winterhawks as Portland looks to get to the Final Four for a second consecutive season. And it's Game 3 tonight in Spokane between the Chiefs and the Tri-City Americans, the only series that's guaranteed to go past 4 games here in this second round. And so they will start at 7:05 Pacific with that series knotted at a game apiece. Spokane took Game 1, Tri-City in Game 2. And for more information on the Western Hockey League with news and highlights and also links to all 22 teams, go to the website at www.whl.ca. And RE/MAX is proud to support the Western Hockey League and excited to offer fans a chance to win $25,000 in home entertainment prizes. To enter, visit WHL.ca and click on the RE/MAX Home Team Contest button. RE/MAX, official realtors of the WHL. 3-1 Medicine Hat Tigers up on the Moose Jaw Warriors through 1. Dan and Bill on the other side of the break.
That is not our broadcast booth. There's the legendary Bob Ridley, who this year worked his 3,000th regular season game with playoff seasons, over 3,400. His bus keys are still in his pocket. He thinks maybe there's one more bus trip at least. What a legend. And there's some talk that Bob Ridley will be at least discussed for a possible Hall of Fame nomination down the road. And you talk about the broadcaster's wing at the Hall of Fame. Why not a guy who's been calling Medicine Hat Tiger hockey since 1970?
Yeah, he's a legend, and you know what? He looks so good. You talk to him, he's so sharp, and everything that he tells you, he can relate stories almost, going back every year. He's got a story about pretty well every year that the Tigers have played.
Yeah, he's terrific, and he still loves doing the games. His passion is second to none. All right, Bill, what do you got for the first period highlights?
Well, obviously the Warriors get off to a terrific start, and Dylan McElrath does not get an assist on this. Watch this. As James Bettauer, defenseman at the far right, falls, far left to your screen, this is going to be Dylan McElrath. As soon as he realizes the defenseman's fallen, McElrath comes up the ice. Point gets it, back to Henry. Look at McElrath in front of the net. He's come all the way up, doesn't get an assist on the play, but boxes his man out beautifully. That made it 1-0. Now on the 5-on-3, really, really important for the Tigers to score. Watch where Bettauer puts that puck. That's so easy to have that shot blocked, but that's why he's got 21 goals. That tied it at 1. Boston Lear now, again a 5-on-3. Walks it to that spot, and again through the screen, makes it 2-1. This is a 3-1 goal. Good work again by Bettauer. He's going to sneak in from the point. We're going to show you the pass that Hunter Shedkarek makes right here. Now, the goaltender, Dan, at this spot, a little bit further, guys, there. The goaltender is in perfect position. That's Luke Siemens. That's the way they teach you. Pad up, glove up, stick down. But when that pass goes through to a breaking defenseman coming in from the point, look at Siemens. He's got no chance because he's so cut the short side covered. He's got to get help on the far right side. Somebody covering Bettauer. Nobody was able to get there. The pass was a beauty by Shedkarek, and he made it 3-1. A power play goal. In fact, 3 power play goals for the Medicine Hat Tigers.
All of them on the power play, and they have 4 in the series. 3 of them are 2-man advantage power plays. The last one there, scored by Bettauer, not Volk, was a 1-man advantage. There's Volk right now. And here we go. It was the start of the second period. Well, we'll see how this picks up now from the first. Does Moose Jaw get back to that cycle game, that offensive zone time? Are they allowed to do so by Medicine Hat? As we start this period, teams are at full strength. Puck bounces in on Siemens, gobbled up by the Warriors. McElrath plays it across to McFall, long pass off the boards, down the ice, and no icing here. Bettauer back to get it. There's a bit of a turnover, Furietti shot. Oh, Buns makes a save with a rebound there, just for a half a second before Buns jumped on it. Oh, and then a push afterwards, and that's going to cause a penalty. That's exactly what the Tigers did not want to start the period, with a penalty after a whistle that'll give Moose Jaw the potential for some early life here.
Yeah, and you know that Mike Stothers has told his team in the dressing room, guys, just relax. We don't think 3 goals is going to beat that Warrior team tonight, is what he's telling his guys. You're going to get some power play opportunities. Important to stay disciplined. The only difference, really, if you look at the penalty there and the stats that first period, Dan, the faceoffs all favoring the Warriors. That's really surprising me that they're that dominant in the faceoff circle, but the scoring chances period 1. Tigers 9, Warriors 2. They go on the power play right now. See if that's a difference.
In the series, Moose Jaw is 1 for 13, and their only goal was a 2-man advantage. It's not been a great power play series for either team, or maybe you look at the other way. The penalty kill has been good. Now remember, Medicine Hat is really dangerous penalty killing, and then having said that, we've got offsetting penalty.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's a 4-on-4. My apologies, because at first there was only 1 man in the box. Edom is taken out hard on the far side by McFall. You just cannot hear the PA announcer in this building. That is a human impossibility, I believe. So I'm not sure what they called in terms of the Moose Jaw penalty. I can just tell you the Braves is in the box. Looked for sure like they were just going to, especially with the power plays 4-0 in the first period, there was a golden opportunity. You thought Moose Jaw was going on the power play. Well after the whistle, but they make it 4-on-4. Shot turned aside by Buns. Howden goes to get the puck. This is a delayed offside now, and Boston Lear starts back. Lear tries to throw it in front, glove to head, and Howden's got it now. Quentin Howden moving in. Howden shot, Buns makes the save. Howden trying to chase down his own rebound. Comes around the boards, Lear gets it. Brown didn't know if he wanted to pinch or not, and Lear didn't know if he wanted to play the puck. Howden on to Buns, and he freezes it.
If Emerson Edom gets room and time to skate, he can be a factor. But I'll tell you, when he makes this pass, that's what he wants. You watch the way McFall finishes him off. Wow, does he close a gap on him? There's never more than 3 or 4 feet between Edom and McFall, and that's just a terrific job of taking that man, who's probably got the best speed in the entire Western Hockey League, and absolutely eliminating him. Good job by the captain of the Warriors.
Half minute to go on the 4-on-4. And now it is Becker being put out in this situation. Hasn't had a lot of ice time yet. This is his first appearance in the series. Parkkinen now to Becker. Becker plays it safely off these boards. Brown now to Kirsch. Kirsch, by the way, celebrating his birthday. This is Justin Kirsch putting the puck in. They called Braves unsportsmanlike conduct diving, so that's why they settled that up. Well, you know me, I'm a proponent of that, so I like that call, if that's what they saw. I think this league does that better than any league I see.
I agree with you, Dan. That's right. I mean, the original call was pretty obvious. The dive you had to look for, and they got it.
McFall being checked by Gerbovac. And then he is hit, and there'll be a penalty. The puck was not there. McFall was just creamed by Hurley. Here's a chance for Braves. Buns the save, and even though no possession there, they blow the whistle down, and there'll be a penalty for interference. That was a quick whistle, but it is a power play coming up for Moose Jaw.
Yeah, this is a terrific hit by Hurley. You can see the penalty called down, but the hit is basically set up by Gerbovac. Gerbovac's got McFall all set up right there. He's chasing him, and there's the finishing hit by Hurley. Hurley loves that physical contact. Now you got a power play, and a clean one, and a sure one for the Warriors. And they continue to go with that 5-man forward group up front.
Well, as we mentioned, they are 1 for 13 with the power play. Their only goal came late in game 2, and the score was already out of hand. This is the first time in the series where they could really use a power play goal. Braves moves in, shoots, save, rebound. It's in, they score! I'm not sure how it got in. It just bounced over the back of Buns, picked out of the air, I believe, by somebody in front of the net. Maybe it was Miller. Can't really spot which Warrior it was, but it is a power play goal, and it only took 5 seconds.
Dan, and this is again where face-off wins are such an advantage. It's been the whole series. Clean face-off win, shot, lots of traffic in front. We'll probably get another look at that from a different angle. Look at where the puck is. You got Kent Miller in front, you got Howden, you got two pretty big guys there.
He almost cross-checked it into the net, if you know what I mean. Brace takes the shot, watch the rebound come out, and Miller will get his stick on it, almost cross-checks the puck. Or does he? Off his shoulder, and there, right there. He kind of just swings at it in midair, and away it goes in.
Yeah, no question. And it's not even, disputable. The stick is below the height. And you're right, Dan. As much as it was important for the Tigers to score when they trail 1-0 to get in this game and tie it on the power play, it was just exactly that important for this Moose Jaw team to score on this power play here now and get within one.
It's Miller who will get it, his 4th of the playoffs, to make it 3-2. So we've had, in this game, 4 of the 5 goals have been scored with the man advantage. Now we'll see what this does now. Here's Eberle coming in. Eberle shot off the backboards in front. It bounces past everybody, and the Tigers get it. Shinkaruk, up it goes. Here's Edom. Drop pass with room, chance, and a shot is blocked. And then it's swatted out, and it'll be a race for the puck here. Eberle's getting it. Eberle, drop pass. Johnson cuts to the middle, shot, and that goes wide. Might have hit Eberle on the way. Edmonton pinching on the far side. There's your shots already, 6-0 in this period. And that's something the Tigers have to stem right away. Fans respond to a hit. Again, out of the corner of my eye, I only saw something in front of the Medicine Hat bench as the puck was way down in the Moose Jaw zone. Bray's now collecting it. Pass. Oh, here's a chance. They're moving in. Oh, the puck just swept away. It's a good defensive play as the Warriors looked like they were going to get an opportunity with either Arnold or Furietti. Again, Warriors out of their zone or not. Brado, shot, over top the net. Conan can't hustle over to keep it in. Earhart now being watched by Brado. Nearing the 5-minute mark of this second period. There's a turnover. Tigers get it for only a second there. Earhart gets it back again. Dallas Earhart from Calgary shoots that puck wide. One of 22 Alberta-born players in this series. There's a chance at the side of that. They're barging right to the front of the goal. Lots of traffic there for McKay, and Siemens did a good job holding his ground as the Warriors get it out to the neutral zone. Still, the Tigers have not been credited with a shot yet. A little bit of zone time there, but Howden starts back. Howden to point. Point shot, saved by Buns, and he smothers it.
Braden Point continues to be so impressive for this hockey club. I know Peter Labardius earlier said he may be one of the guys that kind of is going to be in the third Fleury mold here for the Moose Jaw Warriors, but the kid's only 5'8", he's 160 pounds, and he's a guy the teammates call Little Bugger. He's fearless. And how about this, those 2 game-winning goals that he's had in this series so far? There wasn't a 15-year-old that ever played this season and got even one.
Shinkaruk gets the puck out to the center ice area, but only for a second. It's swatted right back in again. I'd say the next few minutes are critical for Medicine Hat. They've got to stem this right now. They can't allow too many more shots. Maybe here they'll stem it. Shinkaruk is stopped by Siemens. And mark that one down if Moose Jaw comes back. Siemens stopping Hunter Shinkaruk.
Dan, I think Hunter Shinkaruk still has a lot of scouts pretty interested in what he's doing, even though he's not available until next year's draft. He eludes the check, gets the shot, but boy, that is an impressive position. When you're the goaltender coming out that far and that shot comes with that velocity and aimed for that top corner, you better have an active glove, and he did.
That's their first shot on goal, and it was a good one. Lear on the face-off. He wins it for Medicine Hat. One of the Warriors loses his helmet. Furietti's trying to put it back on. Are you allowed to do that? I guess you are. He goes and gets his helmet. He's still not. Now he gets it on cleanly. You either have to pick it up or go right to the bench. And that time he elected to stay out there as the puck is flipped back into the Medicine Hat zone. Moose Jaw has only been to the third round once. As you look at the out-of-town scores, 6-0 Edmonton, that's a final. Edmonton, congratulations to the Oil Kings, beating the Wheat Kings in a sweep. Nothing yet from Kamloops, with the Blazers facing elimination or from Spokane as that series switches. The Eastern Washington series between Tri-City Americans and the Spokane Chiefs.
And I believe Michael Ferland and Mark Stone were out of the lineup tonight with upper body injuries, from what I've been told, for the Brandon Wheat Kings. But you know, Corbin Bowes was so good in net for the Wheat Kings. He tried to keep his team in as long as he could. He faced more shots than any goaltender in the playoffs so far. His save percentage was terrific. It was over 9-2, and you know, he just didn't get enough support. But that's an awfully good Edmonton team. How many straight wins is that now for the Edmonton Oil Kings? Peter, have you got that at the tip of your tongue?
18.
How many?
I believe it's 18.
18 consecutive wins.
That's
wow.
19 now, guys. That's 19 straight wins. That is amazing how that streak is. I mean, and you look ahead now, and right now Medicine Hat's winning this game, but if it is a Moose Jaw Edmonton series, the way Moose Jaw's defenses play, the way they've been on the zone time, that'll be pretty interesting to see how that would play out.
Yeah, and I mean, we're just absolutely dumbfounded, all of us, no matter who's involved with the Shaw broadcast, in the sweeps that have been in the playoffs. That would be one. If it does turn out to be the Warriors and the Oil Kings, there is no way under God's green earth that that can't be a long series. And it would just blow me away if it wasn't.
I don't know what all the hassle is on this face-off. But Bill, the last Game 7 was March 29th, 2010. We had two of them. We were there for Calgary beating Moose Jaw. Kelowna the same night beat Everett. Since then, there's been 31 series complete without a Game 7. And chances are we're going to have 33 series between Game 7s and maybe more. That's an amazing streak. And this year, you can't believe, with all the good teams so tightly bunched, that the series are so one-sided.
And it's depressing when you get paid by the game.
Really? Comes back to Earhart's shot. That's turned aside, like the referees, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, just checking. Earhart now backhanding the puck in. Conan. Turnover. Beach. Tied up by Conan. Over on the far side, Gwinner puts it back of the net. Eberle. One-goal hockey game. Who's going to score the next one? It's going to be a biggie. You know that. If there is another one. Got a feeling there will be. Earhart, lead pass, misses Eberle. He turned the wrong way, and that forces the icing.
Again, Cody Beach, you know, he's got so much more discipline now. He has to have that discipline to be effective on his hockey club, and he was just hammered to the wall by Matt Conan. I can tell you, during the season, folks, this is no way that Cody Beach doesn't react. Well, that's where he's taken down. But when he got up, he was flattened when he went to the back wall against the back glass, and he just skated right out of there. Again, a lot of that discipline that this Moose Jaw team is showing. They got away from it a little bit in period one, and consequently the Tigers scored 3 power play goals in that first period.
I think Beach has been minding his P's and Q's here. I mean, he served a 1-game suspension for a derogatory comment directed at the Regina bench in game number 2, and we have a Moose Jaw timeout here.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Watch this. Here comes Conan. I mean, he takes him hard. And watch Beach. I mean, he's going to skate out of there. Look, his head's down. He doesn't even make eye contact with Conan. That's exactly what Mike Stuthers wants.
So on the face-off after the icing, they call the timeout. Stuthers. It's not a long change in the second period here, because the benches are on opposite sides, but he still elects to use his timeout. Interesting strategy. He may want that timeout later in the game, but then again, he doesn't want to give up the 4-2 goal. He sees strides in his Warriors in this period. Here's Edom, putting it back of the net. Shinkarik chasing it in the corner. Parkinen on the pinch, puts it back of the net for Volk. Edom's got it, throws it in front of the net, and there's going to be a penalty on Moose Jaw. Wow. Hooking call out in the slot area. And there's Andy Thiessen calling it. And it's another Medicine Hat power play.
He's a very, very veteran referee. Andy Thiessen generally doesn't miss too many calls. It's the very tip of the blade.
That's pretty iffy
It's
for this
iffy.
time of year.
I totally agree with that one. You'd expect a little bit more of that white blade to get into the player to hook him. He just got the tip in it, and it is a power play for the Tigers, and we know how successful they've been so far in this power play.
And the Moose Jaw bench upset with this call as well. Very, very borderline, but Medicine Hat, who's been deadly on the power play, has a chance to increase their lead. Puck goes down the ice. And that's more of a penalty if you ask me. Furietti comes up with the puck, short-handed, throws it in front, and McElrath couldn't get it. McElrath will go for a skate. Over here to Miller. Miller protects the puck, then he's hit and knocked down and knocked off the puck. Emerson Edom hits the line. Edom to Bettauer and out to make the save is Siemens. Another chance! Siemens makes that save at the side of the goal. Edom to the blue line. Conan now. Conan to Edom. Edom down low. Shinkarik. Bettauer's back door, can he get him the puck? No, it's swept off. Shinkarik sticking out to the neutral zone. Minute to go in the power play. Another penalty coming up on, wow, Edmonton's getting this one. Another two-man advantage is going to go to the Medicine Hat Tigers.
You know, you said earlier, Dan, so far in this period, it's been all Warriors. They've got a lot of momentum. They know they've had strong second periods. Now they turn around and they give the momentum right back, or possibly give it right back to the Medicine Hat Tigers.
Who's getting the call here?
Well, certainly Klooston's not so sure about that one.
Now look at Klooston. You can see him. He's choosing his words. He's thinking about his words, and now he's going to have a few of them.
Well, if you look at the contact that happens between the two players at the blue line, he just said no.
Well,
he just said no. That was it. I don't agree with you.
He's right. I think the contact at the blue line was more Edmondson. Watch Edmondson at the blue line. He's number 3. There's the first collision, but it's the push after this. Watch Edmondson. He'll try to work him over. We won't let it go further, but he was trying to make it an offside by pushing Edmondson in over the line.
There it is again. That was 4-on-4 for 52 seconds or less.
2 minutes for interference. The time 9:12.
And now the fans voice their displeasure. 4-on-4. Quentin Howden shot. Bunn saves. Howden goes down, and the puck left sitting there for Brado. Howden's back up again. He couldn't get it. Parkkinen, he's tied up. Henry's got it. James Henry. Now to Quentin Howden. Howden back to McElrath. McElrath throws it down into the corner. In another 20 seconds, there'll be a power play going to Moose Jaw. Tigers. Brado continues to circle in his own zone. Now he gets some room. Still Brado. Poked off his stick. Tries to get it back again. And now Moose Jaw's on the power play. Brady's out of the box. They have a minute to work with. Last power play, they took 5 seconds to score. Henry hit by Conan. Gloved and held into the zone. Down low, centering pass. They're banging at the puck. They're still banging at it. A shot wide. Great opportunity for Edmondson. Henry now. Brown. Henry tries a quick pass over there and finally gets through. Half minute to go in the power play. Henry. Brown. James Henry. Down low. No room for Braves. Out here he goes. Wrist shot over top the net, not a play.
That whole sequence is possible because of a terrific keep-in at the blue line. You know, Conan, I think, recognized that his team was short-handed, tried to get that puck out. It's kept in beautifully and moved quickly. And once it gets to Kent Miller there, throws it to the front of the net. Boy, that's just it's blind puck movement, but it's knowing where your guys are. Terrific job by Miller to keep that puck alive and get it to the front of the net.
18 seconds remain in the power play. Brado and Furietti on the draw. One by Moose Jaw. Comes back to Brown. Brown being checked by Brado, but he holds onto the puck. Still Brown. Brown now being looked at by Basanius. Dishes it off. Howden has it. Penalty almost over. Here's the point shot by Edmonton. And Buns, no rebound. He smothers it. 8:45 to go. Period number 2 and game number 4. It's the Tigers leading by 1 on Shaw.
Warriors head coach Mike Stothers with me. Coach, even when you're up 3-0 at times, to be as focused and put your foot on the gas, I find can be difficult. How have you felt about how it's gone after the first period?
Well, I mean, you got to give some credit to Medicine Hat. They came out. We knew they were going to come out hard. And you know what? Uncharacteristic for us, we took some undisciplined penalties, and it's cost us. So, you know what? You can't dictate or change your game plan. You got to stick to it, and you stick to your systems. And that's the way we had success thus far. So we got to get the discipline back and just play some hockey.
Liking what you're seeing more in your power play tonight, which might be the only concern you've had coming into this game.
Well, it's early to tell yet, Peter. There's a lot of things we're tweaking on and we want to improve upon as the game goes on. But there's still a lot of hockey to be played yet.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And that's the key. We're only halfway through the hockey game. I mean, it feels like we're maybe a little longer through, but they still have a half a game to get back the tying goal. That's what we keep saying. The next one is such a biggie.
Well, Dan, this period 11-2, shots on goal favoring the Warriors. And you said it earlier, the team in white, the Tigers, have to find a way now to push back. They've got to get going through the neutral ice area, which was so effective earlier.
And Volk is one of those players that can do that. Here he comes now through the neutral zone. He flips it in deep. He and McElrath battling for position there. Down goes Volk, and in comes Moose Jaw's James Henry to collect the puck on the back check. Up to Braden Point. Point hits the blue line. Point takes the shot, saving a huge rebound there. It's one thing Buns has given in this series is some rebounds. Mind you, when you face the amount of shots that he has faced, it's now 155 shots. Ooh, Siemens goes for a wipeout. I was going to say, if you face 155 shots, you're going to give up some. Siemens back up. Now he may be tested here as Parkinen. Nope, he dumps it to the corner. As it comes around this side, Beach to Edmondson off the wall. Not out. Becker goes up high to glove it down. Beach has it now. Head up. Still Beach. Oh, nice takeout. Nicely done by Parkinen, and Beach is hurt. Beach favoring his chin area, and he goes back, and he takes out LaBelle. No penalty. No puck either. That looks like a definite interference. You can judge on the replay. Beach was really truculent because he had been hurt up in the chin area, and he didn't care at all about the puck. Let's watch.
Well, this is 6'5" Beach being taken out by Parkkonen. You can't lay a hip check any better than Parkkonen does on that play there. He makes contact, he stays with it. Beach gets up, talked about his retaliation, and let's see what happens here. He waits for the play to come to him, and then puts a shoulder right back into the player of the Medicine Hat Tigers. Beach, very, very much a factor in this game tonight.
And fortunate he didn't get a penalty on the retaliation. 7:07 to go in the second. Brado clearly wins that faceoff. Lewington, Basanius. They can't get it out. Bodies flying on the far side. Trying to dig it free is Justin Kirsch. There's Portland all over Kamloops. They're on their way, up 3-0 in the first period. I think midway through the first. Out of their own zone. Here's Brado, but we got a whistle now. I guess that was offside, but the whistle seemed to come a little early, and a lot of stuff going on right now.
You know, that last rush was by Dylan Basanius, and then he took power skating lessons from, the coach of the Edmonton Oilers. He's, an uncle of his, and it's really helped him. He's really become much more mobile. He is a first-round 16th overall pick for the Medicine Hat Tigers back in 08. Been a factor, and can be a factor when he can skate that way and get pucks out of his own zone. They're going to have more of that kind of play coming out of their end, because the passing options are gone. I think the Warriors do such a good job on taking away passing options.
Still 3-2. Moose Jaw with the only goal of this second period to make it a one-goal game. Siemens around the boards. Falk gets it now to the point. I was saying it was just going to be kept in, but it was not, as Ferrietti brings it in 3-on-2. Ferrietti shot. Buns shows the leather, got that glove out there, and then a hit at the side of the net, a chance, and Buns is there as Arnold was poking at the puck.
I think Arnold's been maybe one of the better stories of the playoffs. He's got 6 goals for this hockey club, and he's been a force. Certainly, only 13 on the season, but that's the original play, and look how quickly Arnold picks the puck up off the back wall and gets it into harm's way in front of the net again. The play looked dead on the Ferrietti rush. It became very, very dangerous again on the Arnold play.
Now here's Becker. Being checked by Arnold, but the puck comes back to Parkkinen. Parkkinen tries to skate out with it. Bounces in the neutral zone. Siemens plays it off the boards. McKay. Cox going in after it. Tries to throw a check. Couldn't come up with a turnover. Not yet anyway. Back the other way, Ferrietti. Earhart over on the far side. Puck brought through the neutral zone. Bettauer with not a big hit by Edmonton.
Wow. Isn't that something, Dan? I mean, you talk about delivering hits, finishing checks. I haven't seen a team in a long time do it any better than the Warriors have done in this series.
Bettauer. Puck swatted, but it goes to Volk, trying to get loose in the slot area. Volk gets a quick shot, and Siemens gets his glove out there and makes the save. And Volk again continuing to play well for Medicine Hat.
Well, again, if you're not hitting against the wall, Dan, you want to force guys like Volk into a bad shooting angle. We've seen the checks. This is Volk fighting for the puck, and by the time he gets over there, there's good gap control. That's not a great scoring chance. He gets the shot on the net. That's the important part, but you're not going to score very many goals from that spot. Siemens with an easy save, but again, a good job of gap control for the defense for the Warriors.
Just the third shot on goal in this period by Medicine Hat. 13-3, the shots for Moose Jaw. Penalty coming up here on Medicine Hat. Off the face-off, they touch the puck. What's this one now? Interference. Wow, they're calling it pretty tight.
Dan, I think you'll see Gerbevac pretty definitely guilty on this particular call. And he's not questioning that a whole lot. I think Coach Clouston's more saying, guys, stay disciplined than anything else. I don't think he's challenging it. Off the face-off, number 14, far right of your screen. Makes pretty good contact, takes the man to the ice, and pretty much an interference call all the time.
And they get field position because the faceoff comes all the way down here. So Gerbevac, the penalized player. And it's a third power play chance for Moose Jaw. Can they tie it on this one? They scored their only goal this period on the man advantage. Braze trying to pinch, could not get it. And here comes Edom, short-handed. Emerson Edom. Oh, and it's a good save by Seaman. He was going the other way. Edom just trying to beat him low on the backhand, going the other way. That was pretty clever stuff. Henry starts back. Lead pass. Brought over the line. Conan trying to check his man. Howden can't get his stick on it. Comes over here to James Henry. As he works off this half wall, Henry, very diligent, plays it back to the line, barely held in, gets it back once more. Henry, down low, chance, shot, saved by Buns, and the rebound is swept away. And not held in by Braze. Braze tried to get over there. The linesman out here kind of got in his way, and that prevented him from keeping the puck in.
This is Edom on the rush. Cuts down that side, goes to his backhand. The gap control pretty good. All these guys with those long sticks on defense. do a terrific job of doing that. And look at where Howden, that's a power move to the front of the net. That's big Florida draft, taking that puck into that dangerous area. And then I talk about the size of the Warriors. They've got those long sticks. That's just range extenders. It allows them to even control the gap better than ever, I guess.
Here they come with Braden Point. Nice play, feeds the line, back to Earhart, shoots up high, Buns takes it, and the rebound to the Tigers, and they clear it out. 45 seconds to go in this power play. Edmonton to Point. Point, now to Earhart. Earhart, in over the line, here's Braden Point with Furietti. Kirsch takes a shot, and that deflects out of play.
Every play that Braden Point makes, every time that he has the puck, he seems to get it to the right guy, whether it's getting it back to somebody on the blue line or somebody in the neutral ice area that can, make the play happen, or in the offensive zone, he gets it back to the right guy. And that, folks, is why that guy's on the power play, because he makes the right plays with the puck. He doesn't turn it over.
From the faceoff, Earhart gets it over here to James Henry. Still half minute to go in the power play. Chance at the side of the net. They don't get a shot, but they do come out here. Earhart shoots off the stick wide. Good job by Medicine Hat on this penalty kill. They've deflected a lot of shots. Braze, Earhart. Earhart. Now to Braze, trying to get a little bit of room. Can't. Long shot, tips off the target. Penalty almost over. Braze spins, holds. Penalty over. Gerbeback back on the ice. But the pressure still continues. Edmondson shot, nice block. Another shot, nice save by Buns. A block and a save and a clearance by the Tigers, and a hit in the neutral zone as Edmondson tried to hit Edom. Miller, cross ice it goes. 2.5 to go in the period. They're swatting at the puck. Offside the call.
Now you're talking about great block, Stan. Edom throwing himself in front of the puck, doing it at both ends of the ice. Pretty good dedication there, gets his skates on it, and then Buns with a save too. We should mention Tyler Buns, the Eastern Conference nominee for Goalie of the Year. He's going to be up against Ty Rimmer of the Tri-City Americans. Rimmer has been great in the playoffs. .939 save percentage, terrific. Rimmer is yet to lose for the Tri-City Americans.
Shinkaruk tries to get it in deep, he could not. McElrath, he ran into traffic. Took two Tigers, LaBelle and Shinkaruk, and down went McElrath. Fans enjoying the physical play here tonight. Arnold on the forecheck. Howden collects the puck. Howden banks it off the boards to the point. Long shot, that doesn't get anywhere near the net, but here's an opportunity in the slot that went off the stick. McKay will send it in from center. McFall, first to it. Gave it away briefly to Shinkaruk. Still maybe a chance. And Siemens makes the save. Gerbeback just threw it onto the net. McFall. Puck up high. Glove down. And sent down the ice. It goes into the Medicine Hat zone. Tigers would love to take a lead into the third. They're 2-0 in the playoffs when they've done so. Edmondson behind the net for Miller. Eberle on the far side. Check. Last minute of the period now. Eberle, long pass, broken up but followed up by Edmondson. His shot on goal, and Buns makes the save, and it's cleared by the Tigers. Brown up for Eberle in his skates. He can't fish it out. Miller is hit by Boston Lear, but not before the Warriors get it in deep. Buns playing with the puck, hands it to his teammate. Now the Tigers do come with Volk leading the way to Emerson Edom. Pass in front, Henry breaks that one up. 24 seconds to go in the period. That's broken up as well, but it's offside. Volk in just a bit too soon.
This point, Dan, the shots in this period, 18-5 for the Moose Jaw Warriors. They know how to claw back. There's no doubt about that. This team from Moose Jaw knows what it takes at this point to win in the playoffs. They've had some success in that early series with Regina. They've dominated games 1, 2, and 3 in this period, or in this series here against the Tigers, and they're not going to go quietly.
In the head-to-head, when you include the playoffs, the home team has won every game except last night. In the regular season, the home team won them all, and the first 2 games. And the home team's winning this one. And they are trying to add to it right before the horn, and there's Edom. His shot blocked by Seaman.
Well, he's found so many different ways to get pucks on the net this year. Early when he was a rookie in the league, it was all about bursting his speed and the timing and skating away from guys. Now he's getting, as I said last night, some greasy goals. He's shooting a lot more, and there's his last chance and an easy save by Siemens.
So we have 5 seconds to go in the period, and Volk will take the face-off. They'll try to draw it back to Bettauer. Shinkarik in there as well, but nothing will come of it as the Warriors have the puck. And that's it. The horn sounds. The second period is over. And Bill, I don't know what you think of the third period, but it's shaping up to be interesting.
Well, to me, this is what it's all about right now. If I'm the Moose Jaw Warrior Hockey Club, I got to believe we've got 20 more minutes to push these guys out of this game. They've worked hard this period. Will they be able to wear them down? And if I'm Coach Clouston taking my team into that dressing room, even though they lead 3-2, Dan, this third period is going to have to be the best period of the series for the Medicine Hat Tigers to win this game.
Medicine Hat holding on to a 1-goal lead. They were outshot 18-6 in that second period. The only goal scored by Miller. And we'll go to the intermission break. Andy Neal and company, lots coming up right here on Shaw.
The Medicine Hat Tigers with a 3-2 lead on Eric Arnold and the rest of the Moose Jaw Warriors in Game 4 of this Husky Eastern Conference semifinal series. A much better period for your team in period 2. What was the difference for your team in the second period?
Yeah, we just played more body contact, played simple hockey like we should.
You've had a terrific playoff. You have 9 points already to this point. Why are you playing your best hockey of the season when it matters the most?
It's hard to say. I'm just having fun with the boys and having fun to play this game. That's probably the key, yeah.
I find with European players, there's always a big transition. How difficult has it been for you, and when did you really start to feel comfortable with the North American game?
It took me a while. Took me probably, after the preseason, I felt actually pretty comfortable to this hockey here, and I like it.
Do you feel like you're playing your best hockey right now? And if that is the case, why are things going so well for you, Eric?
It's hard to say. We can always play better if you want to.
Thanks so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Eric Arnold, Andy Neal. 9 points in these playoffs, only second in rookie scoring to Curtis Lazar, the terrific 16-year-old of the Edmonton Oil Kings.
And Eric Arnold also had the teddy bear toss goal in that December game that we had for you here on Shaw and Moose Jaw when they played the Regina Pats that night. Well, in our Husky profile tonight, we have another of our WHL draft prospect profiles. And this evening, we're taking a look at Kelowna Rockets forward Colton Sissons, the highest-ranked forward in the NHL Central Scouting rankings. And Colton, bit of a late bloomer, but from Vancouver, and he's certainly now catching the eyes of those in the NHL.
I can't say I remember my first goal, but I remember my first practice. My mom was helping me get dressed, and she forgot to put my pants on tight, so when I got out the ice, first couple strides, they were around my ankle. So that's one thing I remember from way back in the day.
Although his first few strides in the game of hockey might not have been the most smooth, Kelowna Rockets forward and captain Colton Sissons has worked his way to being one of the top forward prospects from the WHL. While it's taken some time to be among the best, Sissons' hard work over the years has certainly paid off.
Growing up, I wasn't always the all-star on my team, so I didn't really make the A teams my first year, if you want to call it that. But I just always had a passion for the game, and I've had fun with it over the years, and just started working really hard at it in the past few, and things are working out for me so far.
Nice feed of Sissons, walks in.
He's very strong on both ends of the rink. He pays attention to details defensively, and he does have an offensive flair. So he's a real good, solid, all-around two-way player.
One of Sissons' biggest attributes is his ability as a team leader, evidenced by the Rockets naming Sissons captain of the team prior to the start of the year.
My biggest leadership quality is definitely just my consistent work ethic. I definitely lead by example on the ice more than anything. I'm working on the vocalness in the room for sure, but I just try to work my hardest and work the right way and what the coaches are preaching to us, and hopefully the younger guys follow my footsteps in that manner.
I think Kelowna made him the captain for a reason. He's a very good leader, and I think he's leading his team this year. So I think that's one real quality that a lot of teams look for.
In February, Sissons took part in the Home Hardware CHL NHL Top Prospects game, which was played in his home rink in Kelowna. An opportunity in familiar surroundings to try and make a big impression on NHL scouts.
We're not looking for the perfect player. You know you're not going to get the perfect player. You know, you look and you list his good qualities and stuff that he has to work on, and you know the kids that work the hardest at the end of the day are the ones that are going to persevere.
That's huge. You know, it's a pretty special opportunity. Not many hockey players our age get to say that they participated in this with top 40 prospects pretty well, and for myself being the captain of one of those teams is a pretty special thing.
And with draft day fast approaching, Sissons already feels the nerves of the big day and can't wait to hear his name called.
If that were to happen, I'd be pretty blessed to have that happen because it's so rare, and I'd just try to roll with it as best I can.
Well, an NHL team is going to be a lucky one that gets Colton Sissons on draft day for the NHL. Well, Sven Barchi is the WHL's Player of the Week in the first 2 games against the Kamloops Blazers in their Cal Tire Western semifinal series. 3 goals, 3 assists, +2 with the 6 points as well. After a 94-point regular season campaign, Barchi has been terrific for Portland. He, alongside Ty Ratty, have really carried the way for the Winterhawks, who are looking for a sweep themselves over the Kamloops Blazers in their second round series. Well, Peter Labardius on the other side of the break when we return to Medicine Hat. It's the Tigers by 1 through 2 on the WHL on Shaw. Back at the Medicine Hat Arena, where the hosts have a 1-goal lead. It's 3-2 through 40 minutes of play against the Moose Jaw Warriors. The Tigers with that lead. Almost seems like, Peter Labardius, that Moose Jaw needs a period to get going. Another big second period for them, at least in the shot clock.
Well, last night it only took them about the first 10 minutes when they were outshot 6-1. Then they really took over the last 50. To Medicine Hat's credit tonight, and you could really sense it, even though they gave up that early goal in the first couple of minutes, they started to skate better. In transition, they started to make simpler plays, Andy, coming out of their own zone. And one of the reasons that they ended up with 4 power plays in the first period is they used their feet and their skating game to their advantage and kind of forced Moose Jaw into some spots they hadn't been in this series. However, in the second, that same kind of trend we've seen to this point continued in favor of the Warriors.
Well, what does Moose Jaw then have to keep doing in that third period coming up?
I don't think Moose Jaw really has to do anything. They just kind of have to stay with their game. That's what they've been so good at, both against Regina and against this Medicine Hat Tiger team. Their forecheck has been relentless. The play of their defensemen in all 3 zones. They've been equally as important even in the offensive zone to keep that great forecheck and keep Medicine Hat playing a 200-foot game in this series, and they've created some opportunities. If you're Moose Jaw, the one area that might have been a concern has been their power play, but that has a goal tonight and looked really good again, even though they didn't score on their last opportunity.
Let's look elsewhere. Edmonton Oil Kings have moved on to round 3. Another impressive win tonight. No Mark Stone, no Michael Ferland for Brandon, so they were in tough, but the Oil Kings, boy, do they keep on rolling. That's 19 straight for them.
This is starting to be a streak that is going to be talked about a lot more. When you've won 19 straight at this time of year, dating back to the end of the regular season, they're starting to move into some pretty unique territory. And when you take in consideration the group that Bob Green has built in Edmonton, this is a team that's kind of, to be honest, a year ahead of schedule. A lot of people thought they might be in this type of position 1 year from now, but they finished the year with 105 points, more than anybody else. And they are on, as I like to say, some kind of roll right now.
Are they ever? Another convincing win tonight to get through to round 3. On the other side of the ledger, the Cal Tire Western Conference semifinals. Portland's got it last I saw, a 3-goal lead on Kamloops, trying to wrap it up. And Tri-City got off to a quick start against Spokane. So obviously Portland's in good shape. Tri-City trying to get themselves in that situation as well.
When you think about the great playoff history of Tri-City and Spokane, would I be surprised if that series required a 7th and deciding game, and we might have a couple of overtimes along the way? That just seems to be the way it goes for those two teams in their history when they meet in the postseason. Portland, when they acquired Cam Reed, when he moved from the NCAA ranks. Now, I know Oliver Gabriel is out right now with a 4-game suspension, and they're still getting great things done. For me, Andy, with their experience of a year ago, some key additions, this might be flat out the most talented team in the entire Western Hockey League. Take nothing away from Edmonton. I can't say enough good things about them. But the Portland Winterhawks, if they have learned from a year ago, I think they have as good a chance as any to not only be back in the final, but maybe have an opportunity to represent the league. And for me, Sven Berchi, right now, might be the best player in this entire league.
He has made it look awfully easy so far through the postseason. Let's run through the scoreboards now and show you what's going on the 3 other fronts. It's game 4 for a couple of the games, and this is it now. 6-0 for the Edmonton Oil Kings. Martin Gernat got his first of the playoffs, first 2 as Edmonton moves on.
They're a high-scoring defense, but in talking about that, a lot of talk about the forwards. The defense on this team doesn't get enough credit, and Gernat has been terrific for them, the Oilers' 5th rounder.
Mark Pissick also with a goal tonight for Edmonton. There's the story in Kamloops as Portland tries to wrap it up, a 4-1 lead. And Derek Pouliot, who was ranked 12th by NHL Central Scouting, gets 2.
Talk about teams with good back ends. How about that back end with Morrow and Wotherspoon and Pouliot, and the list goes on and on.
Rutkowski also, he opened the scoring tonight, and McMaster and Brendan Shinneman, another point for him. What else is new? 2-0 Tri-City.
Does anybody remember the last time Brendan Shinneman didn't have a point in a hockey game?
It's been a while.
There's a better question.
He's closing in on 30 games now for a point streak. More, but you can find it out on the league website, and there it is right there, www.whl.ca. And just a reminder as well that RE/MAX is proud to support the Western Hockey League and excited to offer fans a chance to win $25,000 in home entertainment prizes. To enter, visit WHL.ca and click on the RE/MAX Home Team Contest button. RE/MAX, official realtors of the WHL. Our thanks to Peter Labardius. Dan and Bill are on the way next for the call of period 3. Can the Tigers hang on, or can Moose Jaw move on and face Edmonton?
Back in the arena at Medicine Hat. The Tigers are going to take a lead into the 3rd. They want more games. If there's another game, it'll be Friday, and they'd love to bring it back here Sunday, but that's putting a lot of water under a bridge right now.
A lot of work to be done here tonight yet, even though they lead this game 3-2.
So what do you think? Do you think the second period was a momentum changer?
Well, they get a power play goal. The Warriors do it earlier. This is 3:08 in. Shot from the point. Watch all the action in front. We're going to get some interesting stuff. A stick there, a shoulder there, a stick there, and a shoulder there, and it ends up in the back of the net. Kenton Miller gets credit for that goal. 3-2 Warriors. But Dan, here's the thing. The physicality, that's the hit on Beach. But the game is played in such a physical way that it's eventually going to wear teams down. It takes 2 guys to hit McElrath, but it doesn't even result in a turnover. They keep the puck and they get it in deep. You want to forecheck McElrath? Watch. It takes 2 guys to hit him. It doesn't result in a turnover. Henry gets the puck, reverses it. Watch this, guys. It doesn't only result in no turnover. The puck comes all the way up the ice and ends up on Buns. That's the 20 minutes that's going to be interesting to watch, is the toll that the physical play in this period will take on either team.
So Miller from Braze and Brown at 3:08. The shots in the second period were 18-6 in favor of Moose Jaw. We mentioned earlier that Medicine Hat, they are 2-0 when they're leading after 2 periods of play. Moose Jaw, on the other hand, this is the first time they've been trailing after 2 periods of play in these playoffs. So a new test for them as you look at the rival coaches. And during the regular season, when trailing after 2, Moose Jaw rallied 4 times, but they only were in that position 18 times. So it's a pretty foreign feeling for them to be down after 2 periods of play. Full strength here as we start this period. Here's McFall, winding up shot. Oh, and Buns found it. It was a riser, and Buns makes the save.
You know, the thing that's impressive about McFall and Edmondson and McElrath and all the defense that go on the ice is when they get that puck in the offensive zone and they take up a position at the blue line, their play is not just to keep the forecheck alive. These guys are creating offensive chances. You saw one there.
So Braze goes in, trying to get the face-off shot on the face-off. Didn't reach the net. That kind of was a sneaky one. Went over to Arnold. He didn't get it on the net. Arnold trying to chase that one down. It's just loose in skates. Parkinen picks it up. He'll try the other side. Tigers out of their own zone. They get to the red line, they dump it in. They'll try to do that a lot, I would imagine. Trying to protect this lead. They don't keep it in there, though. Braze to Furietti in over the line. Trying to go through. Furietti throws it towards the net, but wide. Henry battling to keep it in. Gerbenbach takes it off him. Puck goes free to Brado, and he sends it down once more. Just a minute into the third. Lead pass, Henry. Off a stick, and a skate, and a pad, and back the other way. Shinkarik puts it in deep. Travis Brown, graduate of that Winnipeg Wild program. Brown follows it up, and here he comes. It's 2-on-2. Brown peels back. Howden shot again. Buns, a little bit of a rebound, but he gobbles that one up.
Yeah, this is that defensive group that we're talking about from the Moose Jaw Warriors. When you look at the McFalls, the McElraths, the Earharts, and that's not to slight anybody that's not on that particular page, but look at the size, look at the weight, and you know this Moose Jaw Warrior defense stand combined are a +16. You thought they might be in a shutdown position, shutdown mode this series. They've been very offensive.
And they win a faceoff. Goes back to McFall. McFall gets it to Kirsch. Shot well wide of the net. Dumped down low. Eberle pinned up. Squirts free to Medicine Hat. They work it up the boards. Kirsch cut it off for a second, but it does come out to the neutral zone. Now you're offside at this blue line. Face off in the neutral zone.
Again, the job ahead for the Warriors, and they've done this all series so far, is, you know, it starts in the offensive zone. They deny the puck, they deny the pass, they deny the center of the ice, and they're pretty good at denying the slot. And that whole sequence of defense, which starts in the offensive zone, has been very, very effective for the Warriors.
Early stages here, pretty cautious. Miller in over the line. Miller shoots, and Buns, again, Buns having a little trouble snarling all those pucks. He's been a real good goalie, but some of his rebounds maybe a little too juicy. Eberle from back of the net. Wrap around, Buns save, Kirsch backhand, and I don't know if Buns got his toe on that one or not, but the rebound chance was a pretty good one. Now it's the Tigers through the center ice area. They shoot it in deep. That seems to be their plan right now. Get it in deep. Shinkarik bodied off the puck. More battling over there. Shinkarik trying to come off the backboards. Tied up. Moose Jaw's got it. They flip it out to center. Betar back to get it. Being watched by Arnold. Arnold in on the forecheck. And there's the turnover. There's a shot. And a rebound. And that is another chance at the side of the net. But Buns is there to make another save for Medicine Hat.
You know, when you're indecisive with the puck, if you don't make up your mind in a hurry, this is what happens. You see the Tigers, look, whoops, I'm not sure who I'm going to get that puck to. That's Eberle picking it up, and look how quickly the wraparound is there. And that's the toe save that you talked about. And the play that followed that again, a turnover, and again, here it comes. Here's a turnover again in that zone. And the puck ends up on the Medicine Hat Tiger net.
And from the face-off, loose at the side of the goal, but Gerbenbach gets it. And it's flipped out to center. Tigers try to get it in deep, unable to do so. And here comes Moose Jaws Henry. He tips it in. Buns from back of the goal. Howden steals it from him! And he just couldn't get the wraparound. Buns almost gave away the tying goal. Very close call. Somehow Howden just couldn't control it cleanly. And now there's another turnover this side, but Hurley can't take advantage of it. Wow. Out to center, Point. Puts it in. Hurley gets the puck back again. Hurley in over the line with McKay. Miller will start back. Off the boards. Offside is the call, and that's the rare two-line pass. You don't get that very often, but they hadn't gained their own blue line.
Again, we showed you earlier indecisiveness on the Tigers' part along the boards. If you're not sure about making a play with that puck, look how quickly Howden's on it. And that's, Brunn's trying to make the right play behind the net. But if you're thinking a second too slow against this Moose Jaw Warrior forecheck, you're going to have a lot of those pucks end up on that team that's wearing black stick. It starts with defensemen, it's forwards, it's goaltenders, doesn't matter who. Boy, that team, Warrior team, makes you make quick decisions, Dan.
They're arguing the location of the faceoff. I'm not sure what the discussion is. But it is sure quite a discussion. We got all four officials. I say it's a... Let's watch.
Was that Beach on the check here? Folks, if it's an act, on a scale out of 1 to 10, what do you give that? So good, we'll give you another look at it.
And another.
And I think Beach has been out. I think he has sat out. I think he's been suspended for embellishment.
Peter, what do you got down there?
You guys mentioned about Cody Beach being suspended for embellishment. That did indeed happen, because when you go back in our Shaw schedule this year to December, when they played a game in Saskatoon against the Blades, he missed that contest because of embellishment problems.
Gerbevak with that golden chance there. That one hit the goal post, and there was Medicine Hat nearly getting a 2-goal lead. Battle in this corner. That's the best chance the Tigers have had for a long time. Well, Beach is out there right now, so nothing doing on that play. I still don't know what that discussion was all about. Lead pass, going back inside the blue line, and then sent back by Medicine Hat on an icing. The faceoff will come all the way back.
Want you to watch Gerbevak. He's going to throw the brakes on as he goes in. He doesn't get involved in the check behind the net. Watch him there, 14. Whoops, throw the brakes on. Get back, look at all the snow fly, gets in a good position and almost catches Siemens going the other way.
So in the ensuing icing face-off, we'll see who wins this draw, and it's cleanly won by Moose Jaw. Shot goes wide of the net. Gerbevak picks it up, tries to play it around this side, cannot, he's cut off, so they'll try the far side. Becker plays it off the board, Lear couldn't handle it. Arnold's got it now. Continue to battle for the puck, and it goes all the way back into Medicine Hat territory. Around the boards on the far side, and down into the Moose Jaw zone. It's Earhart collecting it. Well, so far so good for Medicine Hat. Can they hold on playing this way against Moose Jaw, who are carrying the play, but there was that great chance too for Medicine Hat. I said a long time ago the next goal is a big one, but I also said maybe there won't be another one. It felt like there would be. Maybe here, Shinkarik. Ooh, he just missed the net, short side. Warriors come back. That's broken up by Edom. There's been so few overtimes in the WHL playoffs as well. Here's Point, shot, save, rebound, and Buns finds it very quickly and covers up to stop the play.
Amazing what this kid is able to do in this playoff. I'm talking about Braden Point. What a draft, Bantam draft he's been. It's one of those guys. I remember Brent Sutter saying to me when he was coaching the Rebels and he had all those good 16-year-olds, he says, Bill, I got to get them on the ice. I want to hold them back, but they're too valuable out there. You get the same feeling with Braden Point, don't you?
He's dangerous. Every time, it seems. Edmonton throws it towards the net. Miller collecting it back at the goal. Miller holding it, all tied up in front of the net. There was nowhere to put it. Nice play at the line by Brown. He throws it at the goal. It's loose. They're banging at it, and Buns makes a big save at the side of the net. And that's one of the better Moose Jaw chances in an awful long time.
This entire sequence is set up because the time the Tigers give Kent Miller. He's along the half wall there. Look, he just had so much time to make that play. And I'll say it again. If you get the puck back to the blue line, to the Warrior defenseman, they're going to get it to the front of the net. They're going to give you trouble.
Still early stages of the third. That's as close as they've come. Buns is going to have to make some big saves. You know he's going to have to. And that was one of them right there. On the forecheck. Warriors, Kirsch. Now Brado for Medicine Hat. His pass finally gets to Gerbevac. He sends it in. Warriors tip it to the line and out. 2-on-2 now. Hirsch has Eberle with him. Buns, another rebound. But it's gobbled up. Down low it goes. Hirsch chasing it to the corner. Lear trying to get a stick on it. Eberle now. His shot off the stick out of play, or maybe it was just shot out of play because the faceoff's coming out.
I just don't think there's any way that the Tigers can even survive the next 13 minutes and 8 seconds unless they get a little bit more proactive. Hey, I understand the danger in their hockey club, the speed that they've got, the explosiveness, but they're putting a lot of weight right now on the shoulders of Tyler Buns, their goaltender. I'm not so sure that's the right way to go. I still think they've got to find a way to create some more offense, get pucks into that Warrior zone, plain and simple. It can't be where it is now.
Buns finally plays it, and that was a good play because it came out to the center ice area. Now it's brought back in over the line. Lewington. Tigers try the other way. Lead pass. There's your shots this period, 10-1. That's 28-7 since the first period. 28-7, and yet the Tigers still lead.
They kind of feel it, some parts of it, and I don't want to disparage the Tigers for 1 second. They're leading this game 3-2, and it's on the strength of 3 power play goals. They need an even strength goal, Dad.
Arnold's shot turned aside by Buns. Conan now skating up and out and down into the Moose Jaw zone it goes. That's clearly their game plan. Just get it in deep, make them come, but I don't know how long you can keep that going. Offside stops the play. That looked like a pretty promising rush.
Quentin Howden has such speed. I know the play is offside, but when he skates through that neutral ice area, the guy is just such a, I've said this before, I'm not sure I've seen a better skating. Sure, the play's offside, but his strides are bigger than anybody. He skates into open ice as well as any big man I've seen. Now, that play is offside, but the reason we're showing you that, if the Tigers allow Howden to generate that kind of speed entering the zone, you saw it last night, he was involved in 2 huge goals with that kind of speed, it's going to cause him some problems.
8 minutes gone, third period. There's Henry playing it back. Lead pass, Howden tips it in. He's going to give chase. Conan trying to block him. Bettauer played it around the boards. Gerbevac gets it out to center. Brado has it. He'll send it in deep. Every time Medicine Hat gets it, they send it in deep. Now they'll try from this side. Earhart shoots it in. Buns leaves it there. There's no forecheck because they're making a change. Becker able to get it to Gerbevac. Gerbevac to Brado. Brado to Shinkarik. Shinkarik coming in over the line. Puck flipped up high. There's Edom. Hasn't touched the puck much here in this period. Ball takes down his man. It's swatted in. And Moose Jaw unable to get a favorable bounce there as Howden was looking for one behind the defense. Edom gets it to the slot area, and here they come. At center, Volk Dishes it off. Shinkarik back to Bulk. Bulk passes, and it almost redirected into the Moose Jaw goal. Very close call. Now it's controlled by the Tigers. Here's some pressure. Pisania shot wide of the net. Edom has the puck. Emerson Edom off this half wall. Dishes it back to the net. Shinkarik couldn't get it cleanly. Warriors clearing it up the boards. And out to center. Here comes Kirsch all by himself. Oh, and Buns gets his arm on that shot. Held in by Brown. That's an easy one for Buns, and he'll hold on.
Well, it looked like the best scoring chance I think that the Tigers have gotten in this period was they came up the ice, they entered the zone a little bit in a group, and it was Volk, I think, with the chance, the shot. Watch Volk, he's going to get this pass. He's got, that's his most room he's had. He tries to pass, and it bounces off a Warrior player on the back check and almost ends up past Siemens.
Brays on the face-off against Brado. Halfway through the third. One cleanly. Edmonton from the line. Shot wide on purpose. Off the backboards, off the mesh, and onto the Tigers sticking out to center. Shot right back in again. A hard one from center. 39, no, make it 40. It's 40 shots again. For the fourth straight game, they've hit the 40 shot mark. Last night they were over 50. And in the series now, they have 175 shots on goal. My goodness. 9:38 to go in the third period at Medicine Hat on Shaw.
3-2 Medicine Hat Tiger lead, folks. The specialty teams have been the story of this hockey game. It was 1-0 on James Henry goal, and then a 5-on-3 Bethauer makes it 1-1. Another 5-on-3 power play, and it was Lear making it 2-1, and then Bethauer on a power play down a 5-on-4 made it 3-1. Here's the key: the Tigers have yet to score an even strength goal in this hockey game, and I think it's critical to certainly do that. They've got 9:38 left. They can defend, but they better defend awfully well, because 5-on-5, it's been all Warrior.
Okay, here we go. It's a rare face-off down at this end. Bulk to take the draw. I wonder how many more big saves Buns is going to have to make.
That's the key.
Half a period to go.
Less than 10?
Oh, sure. I mean, even if it's 5, I think Moose Jaw would take 5 chances right now.
When they take 5 chances, there's no doubt about that.
It's pretty interesting to see if they can hold on. Shinkarik shot right on, and the puck is still there. No whistle. It's still loose at the side of the net. Bulk trying to work it in front. Turn shot. Siemens is down. The puck at the side of the net. Another wraparound attempt, and that did not materialize, but it was sure close. And back the other way. Here comes Moose Jaw. Edmondson dumps it back at the goal. Centered in front. And intercepted and shot off the glass, but weirdly it didn't come out. And this could be dangerous. Brays. He couldn't get the backhand shot away. Does get it to McFall. Here's his shot. Save, rebound, and this just poked wide of the net. Moose Jaw player just couldn't get their stick on it. McFall now gets it over to Earhart. High shot off the glass, onto the mesh. Still loose back of the net. Moose Jaw plays it back to the blue line. It comes back to McFall. McFall shot. Oh, it's just tipped wide. There was one chance there. That was Furietti. Furietti dishes it back. The pressure continues. And it's finally sent out. And Shinkarik, if he can go, it's a 2-on-1. Shinkarik with Edom. Shinkarik can't make it happen. Oh, it looked like that was going to be a great chance. And he's hammered into the wall. Play on, St. Lawrence. Shinkarik slow to get up, but he is up. And he's getting his way to the Medicine Hat bench now. What a chance for Medicine Hat. After Furietti had a great chance. Here's Bethauer now. Dishes it off. Gets it back again. Weak shot. Brado takes it off the skates, and here's a break the other way. It's Quinton Howden walking in, and he overskated the puck. Quinton Howden overskated the puck. Oh my! 3-on-1 the other way. Save Siemens. Save defenseman. Cleared by Moose Jaw. Wow! What action here in the third period of Game 4. Can you believe what you just saw? And a penalty coming up on Moose Jaw. You won't see more things happen in a shorter period of time than you just saw in that last shift.
Absolutely as good as it gets. If you paid money to get into this hockey game tonight, you got probably half your money's worth in that last minute shift. This is a play going the other way. Great save there. I don't know if he knows where the puck is. Goaltender, who's the guy that jumps in there that makes that save off the goal line? It's a defense. I think it's James Henry. He throws himself down, acts as a goaltender. Good job, James Henry. Puck going the other way. They get it down in the... Yeah, exactly, he did. He stacked the pads. There's the penalty on the forecheck. Wow, we had about 6 highlights ready for you there. We only had time to show you 2.
And a power play ensuing at 12:23. Tigers, who have 3 power play goals on the power play on that 2-minute minor that is called. And here's Bettauer, Edmonton, the penalized player. Emerson Edom going in. Hard pass, picked off partially, but it still got to Bettauer. Bettauer to Shinkarik, he's backed up, good to see. Shinkarik gets it out to the line. Here comes Conan, now to Edom, spinning. What's he gonna do with it? Emerson Edom down to Shinkarik, pass in front, and it was a thing of beauty had it paid off, but it just didn't finish off. Back of the net, Shinkarik centers it. Edom had it too high. Volk has it now. Volk passes to Bettauer. Conan, pass to Volk. Put it wide of the net, and it may get to the line, but no further than that. But a turnover, and here comes Moose Jaw. Short-handed, Brown will just dump it in. Minute to go in the power play. 6.5 minutes to go. It's game 4. The Tigers, look at the stick handling by Bugs at the side of the net. He gets by his man, and the power play continues. Edom has it bank off a player, and it goes in. And then it goes out. And all the way down the ice. Edom. Now Buns around the boards on the far side. Can we catch our breath for a second?
Take a couple deep ones because here come the Tigers.
Half a minute to go in the power play. 6 minutes to go, 3rd period. Parkkinen, Brado, down low, Gerbeback. Backhand pass to the point. Parkkinen to Gerbeback. Traffic, and swatted down the ice. Quentin Howden, who knows how that would have played out had he not overskated that puck a couple minutes ago. He was going in all alone. And Howden in this series, or in these playoffs, has 13 points. Make it 14 as of this night. Here's a chance for the Tigers, and it goes wide of the goal. That was Lear, who was diving at it to try to get it by Siemens. Power play over, but the pressure is not. Parkkinen puts it back in the net, comes up in front of the goal, and it's swept away by Moose Jaw. Brado spinning. Howden trying to get a stick on it. The Warriors have it. They have 5 minutes left to tie this thing. Brown brings it in over the line. Brown trying to get it back. Broken up, and Medicine Hat's got it once more. Here they come now. Hammered in from center. Big, healthy rebound, picked up by the Tigers. Centering pass. Comes back to the line. Bettauer shot. That goes off the target. Edom trying to get it, but it was knocked down with the high stick.
Well, you know, Dan, that power play that was unsuccessful really gave this team momentum, and that's what you want to get out of it. This is how close the Tigers come. That puck has just slid wide. And this is a head scratcher, a head slapper, a head banger. Quentin Howden on a breakaway, right?
I'll tell you what, the referee, he's trying to, he
took his focus.
He lifted his head because he saw something in front of him. The referee, the 2-man referee system that never happened in the old days. Tell you that, I'm living in the past.
Okay, all right.
That's exactly.
There's a reason for it. I missed that one, but
he's too good, man. He can't. He thought somebody was going to hit him. That's my theory. I'm going with it. Fiorietti in over the line. Fiorietti now on the half wall, trying to work it in front or into the corner. It's had 4 or 5 chances to do either. It swats at the puck, but the Tigers are going to muck it out to the neutral zone, and now Volk has it poked off his stick. Lead pass, now Fiorietti with Braze. Fiorietti shot, score! Fiorietti scores on Buns on an innocent-looking wrist shot, and with 4:09 to go, the Moose Jaw Warriors have finally tied up this hockey game.
Turnovers between the blue line, any coach will tell you, are killers. they often end up on the net. The Warriors just killed off a penalty. Here's a turnover between the blue lines. They get it to Fioretti. Perkonen's back. That's a shot Buns has to make the save on. It's glove side. It's just a quick release, and that's the save. And you can tell by the look of Buns right there. He says, guys, I should have had that one. He's been good. He's been terrific. There's times Buns has been great. But right now it's a 3-3 game. Wow.
And
what a finish.
All those Medicine Hat chances. My goodness.
Braves. The time 15:51. Sam Fioretti from Cambrai at 15:51.
So Braves has 2 points. And that's the 43rd shot on goal. Glove hand pass or an offside stopping the play now. 3:41 to go. Fioretti, this big goal as he crossed it over the line. He used the backman for a screen. That's Parkkinen, and I guess Buns couldn't catch it through the screen, but he still thinks he should have had it.
Yeah, it's just a spot right over the pad. You know, when a puck just gets over the top of the pad below the blocker, probably the one that gives you most trouble on that side.
Remember about an hour ago I said the next goal was a big one?
You think?
Now the next one after this one is even bigger. There you go. Edmonton shot. Oh, that just changed directions and almost found its way past Buns. Tigers have to regroup here. Edmonton puts it in front of the net. Henry! Oh, and it slides through the goal mouth area. Henry. There's a long shot. That went wide of the net. Somebody's lost a stick out there. That's LaBelle. But he gets it back again. Here's another shot. Save and a rebound. Oh, and it hit. That hit Bettauer in the head. He's down, and that's why we get a whistle. That first shot, I think, hit Bettauer in the visor.
Yeah, you know, it looks like Bettauer just actually skates right into the shot. I mean, all James Bettauer has to do in this play, folks, number 50, is turn around and make sure that he boxes out the man in black right behind him. The Moose Jaw Warrior, is that Fioretti or is that Point? Hard to tell with that red on black, but it's Point. And he does neither of it, and just simply skates to the front of the net, takes the shot right in the visor.
Howden having a discussion with the referee, saying, why'd you get my way when I overskated that puck? No, I'm just kidding. There's Bettauer, though, with the towel, and he's going into the dressing room area.
Yeah, we talked about him being a factor tonight, and he's been that. He's got 2 of the 3 Tiger goals.
And he hopes to get back here very soon, because if his team gives up another one, his major junior career would come to an end. 3 minutes to go, just under. Conan, lead pass, shot in, bouncer, back of the net. Gerbeback trying to knock his man off the puck. It goes down the ice. This is going to be icing on Moose Jaw. 2:40 to go.
Well, you certainly get into a position now with 3-3 tie with 2:40, like you say, to go, Dan. You get caught a little bit between trying to win the game, you know, and try to play to keep from losing it in the next 2.5 minutes. But the 44 shots on goal the Warriors have coming into tonight's game, the average in 3 games, 45 shots on goal. They're 1 under the average in this series.
Every faceoff now under the microscope. Now will battle Edom from back of the net, can't get it in front. Does Edom have the game-winning goal on his stick? There's a shot from the line. Conan thought he might have one. He scored last night. Save Siemens.
Yeah, Edom, you know, he's only got the 1 assist tonight, so we talked about him. You know, he hasn't gone any situation at all season, Emerson Edom, where he's been held off the score sheet 2 games in a row. But the key for him right now is the goal as much as anything, and he's got the ability to do that. Look at the 61 on the season.
24 career playoff goals for Emerson Edom. 2.5 to go, and he goes in to try to collect the puck on the faceoff, but cannot. Warriors get it. Warriors, if they score next, could be on their way to round 3. Shot goes wide of the net. 44-26 are the shots. Fioretti, who has the tying goal. He and Arnold can't come up with the puck. Becker does. Off the wall, out to center. McFall puts it back in again. Lots of room for the Tigers to move it out. Chikarik tips it in. Exactly 2 minutes remain. Down the ice. Eberle. Now it's Edmonton. Eberle wanted the puck, had it tip off his stick. He goes in against Parkkinen. Eberle hungry for the puck. Miller gets it back to the goal. Miller trying to get it. Dropped it to Eberle. Spins, but Parkkinen does a good job to stay with him. Now on this side. Opportunity for LaBelle to move the puck. Gets it to center, but it hits something at the bench. And that slows play down.
Certainly the Warriors staying with that game plan, that 2-1, that 2-1-2 forecheck, not a 1-2-2 at all. It's been 2-1-2 all the time, and we talk about two guys deep, F3 high, and it's really caused a lot of problems for this Medicine Hat Tiger team. They're on the ropes a little bit, having given up that last goal, but now 1:27 left. Tough plays in their own zone for the Tigers. Make the safe play.
Brace from the face-off. Brado has it. And he'll get it out for Medicine Hat. Lead pass. Broken up. And now here comes Brado in over the blue line, but it gets away from him. Brown on a rolling puck. Gerbevac cuts it off nicely for Medicine Hat. Trying to keep the play down there. Now we have exactly last minute to play in the third period. On Shaw this year, we have not had an overtime game. That would be sudden death from a Medicine Hat standpoint. Shot, turnaround shot by Lear. That's easily handled, but any shot isn't that easy right now at this stage. And for all intents and purposes, we've been in OT for the last 3 minutes here. 30 seconds to go in the third. Here comes Medicine Hat. Turnover by Volk. Arnold keeping it in. 22 seconds to go. Tigers got to be careful here. Volk pushes it forward. Now Edom out there. Can he get a chance in the last few seconds? Maybe not. Goes down there. No icing. No icing. That hits something on the way. Parkkinen's back for it. 5 seconds to go, and Parkkinen is going to park himself back there and go to the overtime. It was 3-1 Medicine Hat after one, 3-2 after two, and away we go with 3-3 and overtime.
Well, we certainly haven't had anything that even resembles a 7-game series, but we've got a gooder here tonight. Our first one, like you say, going to overtime, and you're going to be glued to your TV sets because, folks, this one has got the potential to go either way.
18 more shots in the third period for Moose Jaw, so they get 1 goal on 18 shots in each of the last 2 periods. And it was that turnover that led to this tying goal, and this sets up overtime tonight on Shaw.
Game 4 of this Husky Eastern Conference semifinal is headed to overtime in a 3-3 tie. Pleasure to be joined by assistant coach of the Tigers, Darren Kruger. And Darren, pride is a key word when you come into these scenarios down 3-0. I take it you're pretty happy with how your group has responded.
Well, we knew what was at stake, and our group has been a relentless group all year, and we've never given up, and tonight is no different.
What has kind of allowed you guys to definitely, at certain times of this game, play your best game of the series?
Well, I think it's, it's an organization that takes pride in the way we play, and our guys are worked hard all year, and we never say die. And tonight we just wanted to go out. We wanted to have some fun. There wasn't any pressure on us. It was do or die, and we responded really well. Our guys have played well. Late turnover in the third period there, but right now it's one-shot game, and if you would have asked if we would have taken this, we probably would have.
We've talked a lot amongst us in this series about how difficult it's been with the way Moose Jaw has played. To me, it seemed like for the first time in this series, too, they've had to come 200 feet a lot more often, which you guys have had to do a lot in this series.
Well, we've done a much better job of getting pucks in behind their defensemen. I mean, they're a great hockey team, and they came at us so hard for the first 3 games and tonight, too. But we've responded well. We've had close support in our end of the rink. We were able to get the puck out a lot easier and get pucks in behind their D, and it's been a good game. It's been fun to watch tonight.
Young defenseman Kyle Becker comes in tonight for Alex Theriault, and to me, he's giving you some good minutes. Would you agree?
Yeah, and that's never easy to do against a hockey team like this. And he's responded well, and he's played some good minutes here, and it looks the future looks bright for Kyle, and he's going to play with us next year and get a regular shift. But so far, it's been good for him.
My last one for you, how do you go about approaching things with your team heading into this do or literally die situation for your team?
Well, I just think we got to keep doing the things we're doing and making sure we got close support and making sure we're talking and getting the puck out. And when we get those opportunities, we got to get pucks to the net too. And I think we've seen some success in doing that and just getting pucks to the net. And one shot, it can go off anything or anybody, and that's all it's going to take tonight.
I know you got work to do. Thanks for this.
Thanks.
Assistant coach Darren Kruger, Andy Neal. I remember back in 1989 when he was part of a pretty big overtime win. That was the Memorial Cup final in Saskatoon as a member of the Swift Current Broncos.
Yeah, that was great stuff. Many thanks to Darren Kruger for talking to Peter through regulation time. Our first overtime here on Shaw, and there's nothing like the overtime magic in the playoffs. This tonight is the 6th overtime in the WHL postseason. Let's take a glimpse at the first 5 so far in the 2012 WHL playoffs.
Side the line to center, on to Edom, 2-on-1 with Shinkarik. Shinkarik moves it, back for Edom, he scores! Emerson Edom with the game-winning goal.
Les Point in front, Point got a chance, second back! He scores! He scores! Welcome to the Western Hockey League! Brandon Point, your double overtime hero!
Slings it out of the corner, right on, saved by Simpson. Dug behind the net, Stromwell. Down the high slot, Ewan scores! Ewan ends the game in the series. Yeah, baby.
Tied up going into the corner, Kramer out front to Holmberg. Holmberg's got a man open, third fire, shoots and scores! Mitch Holmberg with 13-17 left in overtime, and the Chiefs have evened this series at 2 games apiece.
Poked through on Helgeson. Zerzinski driving in there. Backhand shot off the side of the net. Loose puck in front. Cirelli put it off the crossbar. Loose. Zerzinski scores!
Now here comes Holmberg. Chiefs with numbers. Holmberg down the right side. Holmberg coming in. Snaps a shot. Shoots and scores! Mitch Holmberg from the right side scores! And Spokane scores 106 into overtime as they win this game by a score of 3-2.
So there you go. There's what's happened in overtime so far. Here's what's happened tonight in one of 3 other games in the second round of the WHL playoffs. The Edmonton Oil Kings, the top team in the regular season, are now in the Eastern Conference Championship as they sweep the Brandon Wheat Kings with a 6-0 decision tonight in Brandon. So the Oil Kings, who have home ice advantage throughout, will get a chance to rest up and see what happens here in this overtime and in this series to see who they will face in round number 3. Well, the Kamloops Blazers not going away. Portland Winterhawks had a 3-0 lead, then a 4-1 lead in their game as they're trying to make it a sweep as well. But J.C. Lapon, Bronson Mashmeyer, and Brandon Herod have scored for the Blazers. It's 4-3 through 2 periods of play. Derek Pouliot has a pair from the backhand for the Winterhawks tonight. And Nathan McMaster and Brendan Shinneman, those 2 goals still standing through 40 minutes of play in a 2-0 lead over the Spokane Chiefs. That series, the only one guaranteed not to be a sweep going into Game 3. It's tied at 1, and Tri-City trying to get a home ice advantage back in that affair. Well, we'll take a quick timeout and return to Medicine Hat in a 3-3 tie, bound to our first overtime on Shaw. Well, welcome back to Medicine Hat, bound for overtime, a 3-3 tie between the Tigers and the Moose Jaw Warriors as the Warriors look to move on to round 3 of the WHL playoffs with the well-dressed Dave Dawson. Nice new jacket.
Yeah, thank you very much. I did away with the brown one. I know that a number of the producers and the staff really enjoy the brown, but I figured I'll go away with that tonight. So.
Well, we got the Tigers back, it looked like in the first period, but then the Warriors that we've seen all throughout the series took over in periods 2 and 3.
Yeah, you know what? You and I were joking off the air there. It's almost like it's like a 1981 Mustang. You let it run for about an hour and then you get her going. So, yeah, I'm not sure if maybe they just let off the gas a little bit, saying that, okay, we got this 3-0. I mean, hockey teams don't do that, right? But the mentality, maybe the Tigers, knew it was do or die. A little more gas. They wanted to, get it going a little more. But, yeah, it seems like the Warriors have kicked it into high gear.
Well, Peter Labardius made that point that after the Warriors scored such an early goal in the first period that maybe they took off the gas, took the foot off the gas a little bit, and Medicine Hat certainly got it rolling as that first period went along.
Yeah, and special teams were big in that too, right? A couple 5-on-3 power plays there, so that really did the difference. But, yeah, you and I were talking, shots are
36-13
since the first period.
Yeah, and the last 2 periods, that's what the shots have been in Moose Jaw's favor. So again, another busy night for Tyler Bunce.
Absolutely. You know what? When you talk about the goaltending matchup, Luke Siemens, he's been good, but he hasn't really been overly tested at all. He hasn't had a lot of work. He's made some good saves. Tyler Bunce has had a plethora of work, and he's really had the opportunities to try and win a game for the Tigers. So I'd be curious to see how Luke Siemens responds. I mean, James Henry made that big save late in the game there, and then the Warriors come back and they tie it up.
One thing that has stood out for me for Medicine Hat through the first 4 games, missed opportunities, and not just making the saves by Luke Siemens, but missing the net. There have been a couple of those tonight for the Tigers that I'm sure they'd love to have back.
Not only that, but passing when they should be shooting. We've seen that quite a few times yesterday. We've seen it tonight. And you know what? In overtime, any shot towards the net works, right? So you wonder if that's what Coach Sean Clouston is preaching right now.
Who's impressed you for Medicine Hat this evening?
You know what, overall, I thought that on the back end, Kyle Becker has looked pretty good. Coming into the game, I thought that a guy like Scott McKay might have a little more fire underneath him because he's a leader, he's a dressing room kind of guy. I thought that Hurley, LaBelle, McKay line has looked pretty decent. Hunter Shinkarik started the game pretty well. Kind of tapered off towards the end. I thought that, you know, maybe he's got something in the tank to maybe an overtime winner. Who knows?
Well, the tough part for Medicine Hat is if they win this game, it'll be a big boost for them, but they've got to go to Moose Jaw, who, along with Portland, had the best record on home ice this season.
Then they got to do it 3 more times, right? Yeah. So that's a tough task, but you got to get one, right? 1 goal, and that's what's going to do it. So should we do overtime predictions? You want to do that?
Why not?
Do we have enough time for that? We have enough time for predictions? All right.
I think we do.
Medicine Hat, I'm going to take Hunter Shinkarik. I think he's got one in him. And I think for Moose Jaw, I'd probably say James Henry.
James Henry.
Yeah, he's played pretty well.
You know, Braden Point, I don't know if they changed that online or not, but they gave the goal to Braden Point online. He made a great setup to James Henry, but it was James Henry who scored that first goal, which was a beauty. Curtis Volk for me for the Tigers, who I've liked throughout this series, and Quentin Howden. I mean, that tough break that he had in that third period when he was breaking in. So I like Howden and Volk for my goal scorers.
You know what, and Volk has played well tonight too. I shouldn't leave him off the map. He's impressed me. He's played really well.
Dave, thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks, Andy. You bet.
Let's go upstairs. Dan and Bill, let's get your thoughts on overtime that's coming up.
Well, it is. I've written down their picks, you guys, so I hope one of you nails it. Bill, we are going to sudden death, and why do you think we're here?
Well, for one thing, it's for Medicine Hat, Dan, it's been all specialty teams, and they had a chance with a game 3-2 to really put this game away, unable to do so. They have scored 3 power play goals. The really only time they get real good zone time is on the power play. You saw Volk just miss. They keep that puck in. All they need is to get that goal on the power play, and they've been so dominant on that. They get it around the net. They get chances. They actually storm the net. In fact, the closest that the Tigers come on the power play is when Cole Gerbevac, actually number 14 White, hits the post on this. 14 pulls himself back, shot clank off the post. Now there's 5.5. Stop it there, guys. Last 4.5 minutes of this game. Volk with the puck on the right. Where's it got to go, Dad? It's got to go deep. What does he do with it? Skates right into traffic. Has the puck stripped away from him. Now, Sam Fioretti, the shot, the goal. Here's the agony. Here's the ecstasy. Isn't that interesting? Volk with the stick break. Fioretti with the celebration, and that's the reason we're tied at 3.
And there's your summary. Fioretti at 15-51. Each team has played 1 overtime game. Emerson Edom in Game 3 won it for Medicine Hat over Saskatoon. Braden Point in that double overtime Bill referenced earlier in Game 4 at Regina. So Edom and Point have overtime goals already in the 2012 WHL playoffs. Here we go. Our first overtime on Shaw. And Medicine Hat sends the puck in deep. McFall getting it for the Warriors. Earhart tries to spin it up to Fioretti. Conan on the pinch. Bray's trying to get it past him. Edom gets the puck. Edom centers it, and it's intercepted. You know they want to get an early shot on Siemens with Emerson Edom out there. Can they? Oh, here's a chance and a save by Buns. Right on the doorstep. Buns makes that save off Fioretti as the puck goes out of play, and that looked harmless. But nothing in overtime. We should know by now, nothing is harmless.
No, that's right. It was kind of Fioretti just staying with that puck. It almost looked like it was going to be knocked off his stick. He comes down left wing, gets it into that dangerous area, gets one more chance at it, fights that bouncing puck all the way, and Bunn's in a good spot to make the save.
That's the first shot that he's faced in this overtime. 45 now on the board. And from the faceoff, Vesanius. Grbovac sends it in. Brown is going to get to it. Will Siemens leave it for him? He does. Brown cleanly out of his own zone. Point couldn't handle it cleanly though. Pass was behind him. So they'll try again. Brown. If Moose Jaw wins, they'll be on their way to the third round. First time since 06, it'll be against the Oil Kings. Icing called on Moose Jaw.
Well, you know, Mike Stuthers, the coach for this Moose Jaw Warrior team, has been in the playoffs at the junior level 4 times with Owen Sound. Twice he's lost in round 1, twice he's lost in round 2. So if his Warriors win this game tonight, it'll be his first time to round 3 at the junior hockey level.
And as mentioned, Moose Jaw in 06 got to round 3. It's the only time they ever have. Face-off won by Moose Jaw. Out of their own zone, the Warriors led by McElrath. He'll send it in. Buns sends it right back out again. Lead pass for Shinkarik. Can he get loose? No, he couldn't. Couldn't find the puck in his skates. Conan. Now Betar will put it in. Betar back after he was shaken up late in the third. McFall checked by Edom. Edom gets it back to Betar. Now Conan can't hold it in with his glove. Betar will send it back in. Minute and a half gone. McElrath in no particular rush to get back there. He does. McFall, lead pass, misses everybody. That's icing. And they can't make that change. Remember the icing, and they can't call timeout. They used that earlier. So that's also in play in this overtime.
Well, you just take a little longer to get back there, get all set up, try to catch your breath. You do all those stops and starts, all that training that you do on ice, off ice, is always for these kind of situations in overtime in the playoffs.
From that face-off, McFall gets it. Off this near side wall to center, and down the ice it goes. That allows Moose Jaw to make that change that they wanted to. Almost a turnover there. Cowden gets his stick on it. Somebody's lost the stick. That's LaBelle. It comes back to the blue line. Here's Edmondson. Shot. Buns makes the save and holds on.
Again, so much of that last sequence, Dan, was Howden's work along the boards. Big guy, big body, tough guy. You couple that with a Medicine Hat Tiger player losing his stick, you know that the Warriors are going to get that puck back to the point. And that's the one thing that's been the story of the series all the time. There's Howden, there's the work, there's a loose stick. And you know that when they get it back to the point, that puck's ending up on the net.
Henry to go in and take that face-off on the offensive zone against Volk. Henry tries to push it forward. Edom's out there trying to get his stick on it. Comes to the line, but not out. Long shot, turned aside. Bunn's got a stick on it and just deflected it off the target. Edmondson sends it right back in, or does he? No, it's out of play, as he didn't get it in deep. Face off at center.
So much of what happens at this point in a game, in overtime, in a 3-3 tie, is how structured your system is. You know, how much you buy into it. You still want to have the creativity to allow somebody to win that hockey game, to do it individually. But boy, it's that structure that causes turnovers. And for me, it's a little mistake. I think tonight's game is going to be a turnover or something. It's going to be the difference.
McFall sends it in. Conan first to it on this near side. Being checked by Point. Point trying to make a move. Henry with him, takes the pass. Back to Point. Point, a little bit of room. Back to Henry. Right in front of the net. Point had it on his stick, and then it just rolled off his stick. Another shot from the line is kicked away by the defense. And here comes Grbovac starting back the other way. In on Edmondson. Grbovac waiting for help. Dumps it back to the net. Brown couldn't get it. Turnover there. Brado from back of the goal. He'll try to work it in front. Instead to the blue line. Here's Becker. Becker shoots, and that deflects off the target. Over on the far side, Brado comes up with it. Brado! Stopped by Siemens. A huge save by the Moose Jaw goaltender off Dylan Brado.
Not many times that you're going to give this opportunity to cut through a lane area Brado gets that puck. There's a lot of room to skate to that point. Now he's fighting off 1, 2, 3, 4 sticks. There were 4 Medicine Hat Tigers sticks in the area. If you count them, look at them, all of them. He still got the shot on net.
That's their first shot. Each team credited so far with 1 shot on goal. 3:09 gone in this overtime period. Do or die for the Tigers. The Warriors have 3 mulligans in their back pocket. Do they want to use any of them? No. McFall going to the far side. That's cut off. Tigers, LaBelle trying to work it in front. He could not. One hand on the stick for Miller as he goes back now. McElrath. Or sorry, that is McElrath. He'll get it back again. And a lead pass. Up it goes. Furietti in over the line. Trying to go past the defense, could not. Hurley has it, lost it to Miller. Miller ran into his own man Furietti, and that allows Volk to take control. And Volk loves to go for a skate. Here he goes. Curtis Volk. Edmonton trying to take him out. Shinkarik is the support, but it rolls off his stick. Brown sends it back behind his own net. We've passed the 4-minute mark. This could be icing. This could, no, it's waved off at the end. Tigers starting back. Conan to Edom. Edom throws it in front, and Volk couldn't get it. Back at the goal, Emerson Edom takes a shot, and that just went off the target. Did it hit something on the way? Not quite sure. Edom's all over the puck, trying to get it once more, and he does. Emerson Edom had it blocked off the stick as he tried to wrap around. Here's Volk, throws it in front, and Edom couldn't get a stick on it. Basanius has to be careful against Kirsch, and he is. He sends it back in. Every time Edom is out, you get the feeling it could end. He's so due now for a big one in this series. Suspended after 3 minutes of game 1. He didn't get into the series really till last night. He was a -3 last night. He wants to be the difference maker as Buns takes an easy one from center.
That whole last sequence for the Tigers was one of the first times in the game there was some serious challenge to the ability of the Moose Jaw Warrior defense to contain, to shut down. That's what their strength has been defensively, but they handled it well. They weathered that storm. Face-off, obviously coming down into the Tiger zone, and all night long we've been talking about the face-off wins that the Warriors have dominated in that circle.
And last night, 43-17 in the face-off circle, Moose Jaw. Imagine that, winning 43 out of 60 face-offs. From the draw here, they kick it back, and they win possession again. From back of the net, there's Quinton Howden. Has Henry with him on the cycle. Off the wall, Howden. It ends up to the line. It's backhanded to the corner, but gobbled up there by Volk. This big line right back out there for Medicine Hat, but they are having to back check now as that puck is deflected out of play.
Just right after that puck was dropped in the offensive zone, in the Medicine Hat Tiger zone, the Warriors got McFall on the ice. They made a quick line change. They want him out, and you saw what he did when he got that puck down. He skated 20 feet, got it in deep. He's out there for one reason, and on the offensive zone is because he's become a really legitimate scoring threat.
Brays going in to take it against Brado. These guys have been battling in the circle all night long. Again, one clean lead by Moose Jaw. McFall at the line. Couldn't handle it quite clean enough to get a shot away, but it might turn out. A shot deflects over top of the net. Arnold plays it over to Brays. Brays wins possession to back of the net. Arnold chasing it over here. Tries to sweep it back towards the line, but that's read nicely by Boston Lear, and he sends it deep into the Moose Jaw zone. Seaman sweeps it around the boards. Brado cuts it off nicely. Comes back to the blue line. Here's a long shot. Ooh, and that just deflects off the target. Warriors get the puck, and it looks like they'll be able to get it out cleanly. 3-1 Medicine Hat after one. 3-2 and then 3-all. Who's got the game winner on their stick tonight? Parkkinen goes back to get it. In the neutral zone, a turnover. Here comes Moose Jaw over the blue line. It's Miller with a shot. That stopped. Miller from back of the net. He's all tied up. Edom on the far side. Broken stick out there. Edom gets it up to Brado. He can't get it out, but Edom will follow it up, and here he goes. Emerson Edom. Poked off the stick, and a turnover the other way. Moose Jaw In over the line, Miller cuts to the middle, and it's taken off Fistic. For a moment, it looked like they had a 3-on-1. They had the numbers, but it was cut off in a real hurry. Good job by the Tigers. However, the Warriors still have the puck. Hirsch puts it back to the net. Vesenius back there on his backhand. He's taken out hard. Puck dug free. Edom to Volk, over the line. Volk shoots, saved by Siemens, and the rebound is swept aside. Siemens took it up high. He came out to challenge. That was a big save. Here's Edom again, back to the line. It's Vesenius. His shot in front of the net. Oh, I thought that was it. Did that hit the post? Not sure. Here is Vesenius. Shot wide and out. And how did that stay out, Bill?
I don't know. It's just amazing how electric this place is right now, close to the Tigers game to winning this game.
Here comes McKay. Shot turned aside. Siemens is crashed into. Siemens had just made a huge toe save to keep this game 4 alive.
I'll tell you, he's been impressive. He's been a very, very strong story in this playoff, and you could see the toll that it's taken on him. This is a save you were talking about, or the play you're talking about. They get it in behind every Warrior defenseman there. They get it to the front, and they do get, is that Edom? In all kinds of traffic there. All he's got to do, Dan, is get his stick on the puck. He does, and Siemens is there to bail him out.
Here's the overhead as the save. Well, that was too fast, but there it is right there. Talk about a game-saving save. That's good stuff there by Luke Siemens. Has he made a better save in his career?
No, I doubt he has.
Certainly not a bigger one. That keeps this game alive. If the Tigers don't win, we'll be remembering that one. Shot in. Actually shot out of play. I hope they all ducked away from that one.
It's that important, Dan, in overtime in a 3-3 game. And you're talking about a guy that hasn't got a ton of overtime experience in the Western Hockey League. Luke Siemens, 19-year-old. Like I said, the play all alone Shinkarik. Edom comes in as a left-hand shot. Puck hits him perfectly in the stick. And Siemens, like you said, Dan, certainly the biggest save of this series.
McElrath digs it out, gets it back to McFall. Here comes Boston Lear. Can he get loose? Lear going in! Hooked off his stick. Rebound is right there! And they couldn't get it. In fact, Gerbevac couldn't even hold on to his stick. Held in at the line. A shot knocked down in front of the net by McElrath. There'll be a penalty coming up here. What's the penalty for? Did he steal a stick? Did he take somebody's stick? I think Gerbevac took the stick out of one of the Moose Jaw players' hands. That's interference. And have you ever seen that before?
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Watch Gerbevac, number 14.
He lost his stick.
There's
there.
his stick. It's against the back wall.
I could use a new one.
Yeah, I'd take that thing.
That's Furietti's stick.
The stick of Gerbevac is broken, ends up on the back wall, and he grabs it from Fioretti. I'll take that. I need that more than you do. Unbelievable.
Of overtime. Gerbevac, the captain, a penalty like that, and this is going to be a long 2 minutes for the captain in the penalty box.
You got to say, what is he thinking?
And he's thinking, I want my career not to end with me sitting here.
No kidding.
20-year-old Paul Gerbevac in the box. 2 minutes for stealing somebody's stick. Here's Braze. Now a shot from the line, rebound, scores! It's over! Point scores the goal on the power play. It's young Braden Point. He's got another overtime marker for Moose Jaw in these playoffs. It's his second game-winning goal. It's a series-winning goal. Moose Jaw comes back from 3-1 down, and they are advancing to round 3 of the Western Hockey League playoffs.
Dan, Braden Point, when he was picked 14th overall in the 2011 draft, they was said to have the best hands of any Bantam in the draft. And he's the reason for that celebration. off the face-off, the power play, in the Medicine Hat Tiger zone. They get it back to the point. They win the face-off. They've been doing that all series, at least a punch on that. Once you get it to the front, Point is just too good at finding that puck. He's a right-hand shot, comes in off that left side.
Who did it hit in front, Bill? It's the shot here from Howden, and it hits
it looks like
Miller.
It
hits Miller and bounces to Point, and Point jumps on it.
Oh, yeah, he jumps on anything loose around the net. He pounces on that thing like a cat on a field mouse.
And the Medicine Hat Tigers, what a penalty by Gerbevac. He'll never forget it, Bill.
Ever will he forget that. You know, for Gerbevac, let's just say this quickly, 10 goals in the playoffs last year. The story for the Tigers was unable to score in the playoffs. It takes that penalty to put his team shorthanded. Unfortunate for that to happen, for that way, for the Medicine Hat Tigers to lose this game tonight. But it was going to be a tough road to hoe this whole series.
Gerbevac, Conan, and Bettauer. Their major junior careers have come to an end. Is this the last the Medicine Hat fans will see of Edom?
Yeah, oh, no question.
He can come back, but
no, he's
there he is there. What a career he's had with Medicine Hat. And what a joy it's been for us to watch him. Man, and there's the handshake. And there's Buns. He did everything he could. They've taken the shot clock down, and so I don't know how many he ended up facing. So much going on in a short period of time. But I know this. The Moose Jaw Warrior fans back in Saskatchewan have to be going crazy right now. That community is all over this team. And that young Point scoring 2 overtime goals, Bill, in these playoffs. And it's just the start of his career.
Yeah.